Yeah. Okay. Let me give people time to get up in here real quick, and then we gonna get it started. I know it's been a minute, you know. I mean, I'm glad some notifications was going off, cause you know how YouTube get when you don't be on here. But yeah, sometimes y'all notifications ain't gonna go through. OCO though, everyone. Hope y'all doing well. Hope y'all doing well. All right.
OCO, freethinkers.
Cause one thing about it, two things for sure, three things for certain, nigga.
You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet.
It's up.
The champ is here.
He's here to make you think.
Winners are not allowed to allow losers to rewrite history.
You are watching a master at work.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes.
Relax and take notes. This man is unstoppable.
Look at that Indian right there. Look at this Indian.
It's Dane Calloway.
Yeah.
Kong ain't got shit on me.
I will not be debating Dane Calloway.
Hey, talk to him, Dane. Talk to him.
Set it on fire.
First of all, I want to give y'all a round of applause, man. I really appreciate y'all. Hold on, let me turn that down a tad. Yeah. Y'all good? I know it's been a minute. It's had to been like, I want to say, much needed break though. Y'all understand if y'all was with me during the last live stream, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what's going on, the very latest one. So I'm like, you know, I'm back though. Y'all good? Two. My mic a little low, ain't it? Two. Oh, my headset low. Let me turn that up. All right. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, there you go. All right. Y'all good? Yeah, loud and clear. I appreciate that, y'all. OCO Blue Dreamer. OCO Levante. Yeah, family values first. Yep. Yeah, she good, yeah. I appreciate that. What up, Gary? OCO. OCO Dirk. Man, look. OCO Airquad Firebird, how y'all? How you? Osikachu. Chief Icky, what up? Yeah, I'm good, Mercedes. I appreciate that. I'm good. I appreciate that. YouTube got you featured. They watching. I mean, it be like that. It be like that. I appreciate that, LA. We could, wait, first of all, hold on, let me make sure I had this up right here on my side. I gotta get this gotta get the noties up. Okay, there we go, so I won't miss them. Yeah. I'm a little early too. I said 9:30. Actually, I'm a lot early. I think I started like 5 minutes early. I said 9:30. It's Shirley Baker, 67 months in a row. I appreciate that. Osikachu. OCO, shout out to Alabama. I see you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it looked like the last time I live streamed was, it say 15 days ago. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting no noti? It's all good. It's all good. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's been a minute. So when you don't, when you don't post nothing in a minute, YouTube will do that. We back though. We back though. We back. We back. South Carolina, OCO. I believe I saw Mia. Yeah, they go Mia, OCO Mia. Shout out to Richmond, VA. Shout out to Chi-Town. What up, Chicago? What up, Alabama? Duval in the building. Hey, DC definitely in the building. All day that. I don't know. I don't have a faster one, do I? It's been a minute. I gotta check what I got to the side. Asheville, North Carolina in the building. Baltimore in the building. Mississippi in the building. Augusta, Georgia in the building. Georgia in the building. Cali in the building. Sacramento, Cali, I see you. DC all day, you already know. Baton Rouge in the building. Chicago in the building. Chi-Town, I see you. South Miami in the building. Buffalo, New York in the building. Dallas, Texas in the building. San Diego in the building. What's that? Detroit in the building. Phoenix in the building. Duval in the building. Kansas City in the building. East St. Louis in the building. Queens, New York in the building. H-Town in the building. Fort Worth, Texas in the building. St. Louis in the building. VA in the building. What up, VA? What up, Fayetteville, North Carolina? Look, Ohio in the building, Connecticut in the building, Kentucky in the building, Gary, Indiana in the building, Staten Island in the building, Richmond, Cali in the building, Hartford, Connecticut in the building, Stone Mountain, hey, what up, Stone Mountain, GA? Cleveland, Ohio, Panama City, New Jersey in the building, what up, Jersey? Inland Empire in the building, what up? Southside, H-Town, what up, Houston? Trenton, Jersey in the building. Louisville, Kentucky in the building. What up, Kentucky? What up, Philly? What up, Trenton? Plainfield. Y'all ready? I hope y'all doing well. I hope all of y'all are doing well. I know I missed a lot too. I missed that racist cop that I don't know what she was on. I missed that one. It was something else I had missed. Situations dealing with Trump, like it wasn't really nothing. Just the soap opera with the new episode. We ain't really missed nothing, politically, whether Democrat nor Republican, we ain't missed nothing. But nah, it is some things that did pop off though. Just here recently, I'm gonna be talking about, we could probably talk about a little bit of it during this live stream as well. I know they trying to scare us with they trying to scare us with some, with some alien talk now. They really are doing the alien talk now, no bull. What y'all think about that? 1, 2. We saw the okay. I haven't seen the Michael Jackson movie yet, so I can't give my opinion on it right now. I know it's fire though. I know it's fire. I just think it's funny, or odd rather, that it was actually one of the siblings sons, basically Jermaine Jackson's son. Michael Jackson and Jermaine ain't really get along, but it was Jermaine's son that played Mike. Elisa was a Jackson. That's how I feel. Elisa was a Jackson, but you know what I mean? I gotta give him that. But yeah, they never got along. For the people that don't know that, they Jermaine and Michael, he was like, I love all of my brothers, especially you, Jermaine. Like, they was awesome. Sibling rivalry. I'm pretty sure they loved each other. I don't think it was that deep. You know what I mean? I don't think it was that deep. But I want to watch it. I want to see it front to back. I want to check it out. Then I'm going to give my opinion on it. And again, I'm pretty sure it's fire. Now, before, they said Janet Jackson disapproved of the first go-round, like the ending of the initial Michael Jackson movie. The original way that they were trying to project that movie was Michael's past dealing with, you know, how they was trying to say he was, you know, inappropriately touching children. Let me say it that way, right? They were trying to prove, well, the case was proven, but they was trying to show that to the world, especially at the end of that film. Okay? Especially at the end of that film. But that got taken away. This is the reason why the movie got pushed back. Originally, it was supposed to come out last year. And they took that out. But that was actually gonna help Mike. So I wonder what it was that got Janet upset. Cause you know, Mike and Janet was real close. What was it? Was it, that's another reason why I gotta go see the movie. But they took out the whole act. They reshot scenes. As a matter of fact, what's the girl's name that played the mother? What's her name? She's suing them because they didn't pay her the full amount because they took a lot of her scenes out. What is her name, y'all, that played the mother? Nia Long, right? Yeah, Nia Long, yep. Nia Long suing them. She said, nah, they not paying her like everybody else. Yep. Who produced the movie? I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look into it, but I haven't seen the movie yet. I've been busy. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna check it out, see how it's gonna act. But this is ongoing right now, the situation. Oh, his daughter disapproved of it. I mean, you know, the one they say, I don't know. Do y'all think Mike had kids? I mean, okay, anyway, I don't know. I just don't know. But one of the children, I think her name was Paris or something. The daughter was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, calling it out. She didn't like it. But so did Janet. Janet did the same thing. So it was like whatever it was that they did at the end of it pissed them off. And they had to redo the whole thing. But yeah, you know, I haven't seen it. I don't know if y'all have. Let me make sure, did that cut on? Did that cut on? Yeah, it did. Hold on, let me switch scenes. Yeah, not by blood. Yeah, hold on. I didn't even see y'all's opinion on that. Y'all think they Mike's children? If you think they Mike's children, type 1. If you don't think those are Mike's children, type 13. And be honest. And be honest. If you think those are Mike's children, type 1. If you think those ain't Mike's children, type 13. You said not the white ones. Wait, but where the brown ones at? Like, hold on. What? I saw a white son and a white daughter. I'm not saying that he didn't have relationships with white women. I'm not saying that. I don't put that past Mike. I think he did. But that's not the point. The point is them babies white. Now, I mean, unless he went up for adoption, like, okay, you know, but by birth, nah, I don't. Stand up Niji with the 22 months. I appreciate that. Jay Young, 35 months. OCO family. What up, Jay? What up, Niji? How y'all doing, Niji? Now them kids don't have, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. Look up B. Howard. Oh, Lord. I'll see, we already did his, genealogy. And I'm not saying that it ain't like one or two of them niggas in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, but he mainly has an indigenous side, and which I probably will get into. Jay Yo, thank you for the 22 months. I will get into that. Let me see this film first, y'all. Let me see this film because I didn't get a chance to see it and I heard it was great and I'm pretty sure it was good. What's his name? Jafar? Is his name Jafar? I hope he did good. This is his first movie. He studied his uncle. He had to channel that type of energy. I'm pretty sure that was amazing for him. It seemed like he always wanted to do that. Like he really paid attention to detail. Jafar Jackson, okay. Yeah. B. Howard, Evan Ross, and Jafar Jackson are his kids. Are his kids? Okay, see, I don't know, okay. Let me look into that. I ain't even look into it, okay? You said Maury is needed. What up, Deuce? I haven't even looked into it like to really pay attention. You know what I'm saying? But I just know when they was like, this is his daughter, right? I was like, huh? Nah, I mean, okay, what, by adoption? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, but not by birth. Jafar killed it. You thought you was watching a real MJ? Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they probably edited the hell out of that. Because wasn't it, this is the same director that directed on Training Day, right? Didn't he do Training Day as well? I could be wrong. He looked familiar. I believe that was the guy that did Training Day with Denzel that directed this film. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if he fully Niji, but he definitely got Niji skin complexion. I forgot the brother's name that directed it. Yes, it is. That's the same one. Y'all sure? He did the Equalizer and Training Day. Yeah, so that's why I kind of figured, because if you think about all his camera angles in Training Day, that was fire. That was fire. So I'm pretty sure he done got some angles for the directors to have fun with. Fuqua, Antoine Fuqua. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Fuqua. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. O.C.O. Carla, how are you? O.C.O. Sean. Mickey Howard, American R&B artist from Chicago. Son is B. Howard is MJ's son. Okay. All right. That's the one portraying MJ. His mother has kids with another Jackson brother. Now, I did hear some rumors that some of the Jackson brothers was sleeping with some of the Jackson brothers' girlfriends that they wanted to have. I did hear that. I heard, I believe it was Jermaine, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. And that's probably what sparked the beef. It was something about a female. Jermaine and Randy. I heard that too. I heard two cases where two situations happened. Jermaine, yes. Yeah, it got messy. Yeah, I heard it got messy. Jermaine and Randy. Yeah, but I heard it was Jermaine and Mike also. Somebody was with somebody's ex-girlfriend. And one of them got married to one of their ex-girlfriends. Or had kids with them. Something like that. I think he married his brother ex. It could be. Yeah, that's what I think happened. It was something like that. It was, but either way, they brothers. You know what I'm saying? They doing married his brother's ex-wife. Okay. They kept it a secret with Michael? Man, look, I just know he's the greatest artist ever. How about that one? I don't think there will ever, and I mean this, I don't think it will ever be another Michael Jackson. I mean, just, nah. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Because it's not even close. Like, I can't even think of an artist that's close to Michael Jackson. I just can't. Now, again, if we was gonna go by songs and not the James Brown dance moves, then it probably would have been either Prince or more up to date R. Kelly. It would have been like R. Kelly with the songs. But the dancing, like, you gotta have the full, we ain't gonna have the full package no more of Michael Jackson. That's not happening, bro. You gotta put pieces together to get Mike. This person, like Chris Brown dancing, R. Kelly singing, like, you gotta put a person together to make Mike. Yeah, and Prince with, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's gonna be some people, y'all not gonna like this, but there's gonna be some people out there that think highly of Prince and favor Prince more than, yeah, and I forgot about Usher. Yeah, Usher and Chris Brown. They're gonna favor Prince more than Michael Jackson. And okay, don't get me wrong. Prince is good though. I can't, to me, it's no comparison. Really, it's really no comparison. There's not one person out there that we could compare Michael Jackson to. Not one. Prince is in his own, like, to me, that's how I feel. He in his own lane. The one thing that they have in common is that they both were knee deep into their music. Like, you could tell they were in their bag for real, man. Oh man, these days, I'm just glad that this happened where the children get to see Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? And all this Michael Jackson stuff going viral now, again, all over again. And I'm actually glad at that. I'm happy that's happening. Just think about it. He died when he was 50. He had, you know. But yeah, that's sad. It's just sad. It's sad thinking about the situation. You know, but how it was set up, you know, how it went down. But yeah, Michael Jackson's about to go on tour, you know, and you know, he owes some people some money though. And they was trying to take Sony from him. You know, they got Sony back, by the way. Matter of fact, this is what pissed, okay, let me bring this up really quick. This is what pissed the children off. Because I thought, and all of us did, we always thought that the children or somebody in the family has control over Michael Jackson's estate. And they do not, believe it or not. They do not have control over Michael Jackson's estate. He left it with somebody. He left it with and that person signing licenses away. White guy, some white guy. I forgot his name. Y'all probably about to say it. I would have to have this stuff written down so I could remember. Y'all might even say his name, and I'm probably not gonna know if that's him or not. But I know it was a white guy that you know, that's in control of the estate. Yeah, and giving a whole bunch of licenses away and selling parts of the catalog, sold a bunch of the catalog actually, making money from it basically and not giving it back to the fam. And that's what that girl said. She mentioned that. And I should get all that stuff. Matter of fact, when I give my take on a film, I'm gonna see it. I'm about to see it. When I give my take on a film, maybe that could be the next live stream or something like that. I'm gonna also play certain things. I mean, I talked about certain things in the past, but I'll bring everything up. I'll bring everything up. Like the plan, plot, whatever you want to call it, how they wanted to get rid of him. You know, why they got rid of him, what happened, and what happened after, you know, the family was fighting over the estate, you know. And they had all right to be honest, but it didn't go out. It didn't go in people's favor like how people may assume. At least not the family's favor. At least not the family's favor. All right, so what I wanted to do was get into this again. Now, sooner or later, y'all about to see something quite different for me. I'm super delayed. I'm behind like 2 weeks, but we're still gonna make this happen. But either way, y'all about to see what I'm talking about with newer. Matter of fact, I would say newer segments are coming. And I'm going to be going over some of the stuff that I want to talk about. It's been a minute, so it's now time to get people well versed on what I've been teaching for the past 10 years. It's to the point now where I'm seeing a lot of, and you about to see it. I'm getting ready to play certain things, certain videos. Now, a lot of these, the majority of these actually, I have not seen. So I have to explain to you guys my disclaimer. I do not know what these people are going to say, and I'm not going to agree with everyone's take. Okay? For that reason. But yeah, I wanted to touch on these topics in a different setting, and y'all about to see that here shortly. Again, I'm delayed, but it's happening. We still gonna make it happen. All right, let me get ready for this. I'm getting ready to play these now. Y'all can hear music slightly in the background? I gotta go by 9:16 also, hold up. And in between these times, I'm also gonna give my take. Y'all can hear the music? Okay. I'm also gonna be giving my take on certain things that they're stating. Yeah. We'll go from there. Hold on, I'm just making sure. Okay, so y'all can hear the music, that's fine. Yeah, it's slightly, right? It's not too loud. Okay. All right, I gotta put that on. Oh, and 9:16.
White people will never pay the black people back for what they done to us. Never.
What they did to you?
They done another thing wrong. They killed and shut our black people down. They took the land off them. They took our culture off us. Now they're trying to take our pride. But no ways. They got no chance of getting that.
Now, I'm not sure if they're trying to state that these people are indigenous African Choctaw, or this could be the person. Let me just give them the benefit of the doubt, but these are Australian Aborigines right here. So I just want that to be known. These are Australian Aborigines. Yeah, we could say that we're related to them. We can, but because they did go through similar things, but we just, delineation is very important here. We just got to know, there's a difference. Okay. Not saying that some of our people on this side of America did not look like this. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that these people that they're talking to right now are in Australia, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But hopefully where this person is saying right there in the caption, it says Indigenous American Choctaw, they're not calling them Choctaw. So, just in case, somebody don't know that, I'm just gonna correct that. I don't think they are. They probably just wanna, I don't know, it could be the person's name. I don't think they're assuming that this person is Choctaw. So, yeah, because they're indigenous to Australia. All right, so one more time.
White people will never pay the black people back for what they done to us. Never.
What they did to you?
They done another thing wrong. They killed and shut our black people down. They took the land off them. They took our culture off us. Now they're trying to take our pride. But no ways. They got no chance of getting that. There's too many pride being broken, hated, many hearts been broken. Over what happened years ago in the older generation. And it's the young generation in days of today that stands up and fight for what happened to the old generation and old people.
Now, hold on. Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. I noticed something. I'm not hearing an Australian accent. That's very important. That whole entire part, I did not hear an Australian accent from this individual. In fact, the more this person was talking, the more I heard somebody from the South. Okay, now I could be wrong by calling this person Australian Aboriginal. The reason why is because, like I said earlier, I did say this, that we do have people that was over here that look like this. Like, so when I started hearing that, that's how I was like, wait a minute, maybe that's probably why they said that, as far as the caption. Because again, once I started hearing the accent, I didn't hear Australia. I definitely heard Southern American tone. What's an Australian accent? From what I didn't hear an Australian accent. Look, I'm gonna start it over. Y'all tell me I didn't hear it. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
People will never pay the black people back for what they done to us. Never.
But they did you.
Never.
They done another thing wrong. They killed and shut our black people down. They took the land off them. They took our culture off it. Now they're trying to take our pride. But no ways. They got no chance of getting that.
Right there. That part right there sound from the South. All right, hold up.
Too many pride been broken, hated. Many hearts been broken. How about what happened years ago? No. There's Australia right there. Years ago. When she said ago, that was Australian. Okay, now I was really listening right there. See, okay, no, this is Australian, straight up. When she just said years ago, that's straight up Australian right there. Been broken, hated. Many hearts been broken.
Yeah, broken. Now I'm hearing it.
How about what happened years ago?
Years ago. That was it right there. That's Australian.
In the older generation. And it's the young generation in days of today that stands up and fight for what happened to the old generation and old people.
Shout out to NITV or Night TV. Okay, this person. Just showing images, watercolor paintings. Some of them were featured in books. Some of them are featured in museums. The majority of you all have seen this before. We know that the British recognize that we are the American Indians. A lot of these paintings are in England, like that one. That one was in London. The emblem of America is in London, or was in London.
People want from no Africa, and they didn't tell that damn lie. Nowhere else.
And my dear.
Now wait a minute.
So
now that's definitely from here. Okay, now she from here. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right, hold on.
Our people want from no Africa, and they didn't tell that damn lie. Nowhere else.
And my dear, okay then, so we wasn't in slavery like they were saying, was we?
No.
Because Grandma was in the 1800s, because we can go almost 4 or 5 generations back. So Grandma was from our land is our land, 900 acres of land, right?
900 acres, Daniel. They called it Blue Fountain Road. They done took that sign down now.
But it's
Blue Fountain Road.
Exactly.
100 acres.
Hester and
I'm hitting the wrong button. I was over here trying to hit the pause button. I'm over here hitting the mute button. She just said, so 900 acres is what they had. Let me go back a little bit.
They called it Blue Fountain Road. They done took that sign down now.
On Blue Feather Road, they done took the sign down now. Y'all can hear it, right? Y'all can hear the elder?
But it's
Blue Fountain Road.
exactly. And our grandma Hester and our grandpa Al was Albert, Grandpa Albert. And our names is our name. We didn't get no name from no white people, did we?
No, you no name from white
Now, remember when I taught the segment about that? About our surnames? And it was still people out there that couldn't believe that. And I told y'all that they were taking our surnames. Like, you even giving people, white people at that, you giving them credit by saying that we got our names from them. You allowed them to do articles about these last names, and they wasn't even speaking English. When they got here, they were speaking a broken way of English, like a broken English, because they were still trying to learn it getting here as a trader or as a laborer, depending on what they were doing, whatever they were doing over here, which had to have been business. Other than that, they were just enslaved. Yeah, they were speaking broken English. They didn't have all their words together, and they were misspelling everything left and right. That's not their language. That's not their language. If it was their language, then why they misspell all of our ancestors' first names, first, last, middle names, you name it. Every surname in the book, the nicknames. Like, for example, they try to be funny and call us the Cowboys. Stuff like that. Try to give us their own nicknames that they come up with. Try to be funny and stuff. That's why a lot of the stuff that they came up for us was derogatory and still is. And we're just using it. We got to get rid of these terms. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, hold on. Let me let the elder finish.
My dear, they teaching that stuff in the history book, talking about we was slavery.
In the law, we wasn't no slavery. Our people wasn't four-parent, was not no slavery. They tell them bare-faced lie.
Y'all hear that, don't y'all? Y'all hear that? And we Choctaw, right?
That's what they said, we Choctaw.
That's right. We Choctaw. Y'all see a Choctaw, y'all. That's who we are. And our people were already here.
Yeah.
And all of these history books have been lying. We just did the math. So I can go back before they said slavery was freed in Texas. When I did the math, it didn't add up. So I asked my grandmother, and my grandmother said, I said, my dear, so you mean, so were we slaves? Were we in the plantation?
No, we don't know about no plantation. I wasn't even born when all that mess was going on. But my foreparents know better. They weren't from no plantation.
You see that, y'all? So there it is right there. My dear just confirmed it. 94 years young. We were not from...
Wait a minute now. My dear. Damn, she from the South somewhere, y'all. Where's she from, y'all? Say it in the chat.
During slavery like they're saying. And we want people to stop saying them lies.
They tell them lies.
And she said that granddaddy had their own land, and we didn't have to work like that. We didn't have to work ourselves to death from sun up to sundown. They lying.
They lying, sure is.
And then we have all our fruit trees and stuff, my dear.
Right, we had peach trees, apple trees.
Still do.
Trees.
Still do. We make that's a tradition in my family. In fact, I was taught landscaping by my grandmother and my grandfather. Not only did I learn how to plant plants, I was planting trees because that was very important. Like, of course, we did the flowers and, a lot of stuff that grandma wanted out there for the front to look nice, but she wanted the yard to look nice. She had a wraparound yard. So I had to plant trees and apple trees. I mean, it was people that used to come in the yard. They thought they were, I thought they were stealing, but grandma ain't care. She was feeding the community with them apple trees in the back. They used to love that. They used to come knock on the door. Hey, can I get some apples off of your trees back there? Because they were huge. They still there too. Southeast DC, matter of fact. But yeah, man.
Vine, muscadine vine, scuffing vine, all of that.
Y'all hear that, don't you?
That's in the country.
You hear that, don't you?
Grandpa gave grandma her land, and they built houses on it. Grandpa took over and kept the taxes paid on it.
So they had taxes way back in 1800.
Yeah. See now, okay, so you heard what she just said. The elder is talking about the taxes, how the land was taken by way of taxes. Y'all know I taught about this numerous times. But that's one method okay, that they utilized to take our ancestors' land. It was raising up the taxes to the point where the landowner couldn't afford to keep it, okay, by way of them imposing a tariff on them, a higher tariff. Tariff is taxes.
So we know now that the white man invaded.
I don't know, I think the remember.
Wait a minute, shout out to that says Quinn is so humane. Quinn is so humane.
What's up with y'all Africans? Y'all really getting on my nerves. For the last 30 years, ever since that term was put on us, African Americans, y'all been saying, they're not African, we're the real African, they're not African, and then now we're probably saying, you know what? Okay, we did some research, we did some genealogy, and y'all right. We're not African. We actually are American. We're the Aboriginals. We're indigenous to America. Yeah, you're right. And now they're like, oh, no, you're African. You're from Africa. Bitch, y'all thought you said we was. What happened? Now you want us to be African. Wow, I don't like that. I don't like that.
But see how they ain't say nothing when we said we was black? That's why we got to get rid of these terms that was given to us, y'all. Black. I'm black too. All of them get to latch on to that, man. We got to stop latching on to these foreign terms that's being used against us. That's allowing these foreigners to come in. Like, for example, I hear a lot of people talking about delineation, and they're not talking about the main course of the meal as to the reason why they still eating off of us. Because they were able to fit in. They use terms like Negro. Notice how you only saw whites only, colored only. You ain't see Negroes only. Because Negroes involved all foreigners. And so did the term black. All from anywhere though, not just Europe as an example. Or not just Africa as an example. They have our same skin complexion and they were able to get or fit in up under that term. We got to stop there.
I don't. Then y'all talking about reparations and listen, let me stop you right there. We don't got shit for y'all. But the nearest cruise ship back to Ghana, like literally. Y'all got to know too. Y'all going out just as sad and bad as the pretendians that got a new fake page about us every single day. They dedicate their whole day.
They done bought bot farms.
Like slurs because there are never no facts. Just making posts about the real indigenous Indians of America. Like y'all are just in y'all's feelings, y'all deep in y'all's feelings, and it's not gonna change anything. It's not.
Right.
It's not. Y'all's time is up. Their time is up. Your time is up. The Indians' time is up. All y'all gotta go. Bye.
Yeah.
This is Senator Scott Beeson, and listen to what he had to get on TV and apologize for saying.
When I was reading to prepare for this interview,
we saw this.
Quite surprised to see you use the word Aborigines, talking about African Americans.
You know, I've dealt with that issue. I've already, talked publicly about that.
And my purpose here today is to say that I'm very sorry, and I apologize to anyone whose feelings were hurt by my comment.
Why would their feelings be hurt?
I've made very, very clear I don't know where that comment comes from.
Well, from your subconscious.
Well, I guess. I mean, it's not even a normal thing anyone would say. Even if you meant something in a negative fashion, I don't know if you would pull that out. But for me personally...
Well, from your subconscious.
Well, I guess. I mean, it's not even a normal thing anyone would say. Even if you meant something in a negative fashion, I don't know if you would pull that out. But for me personally, you can't just close down camp and stop trying to do the things that you think are right. Just because somebody, you may give them an unfortunate bit of ammunition, you still got to continue to fight on and do what's best for the state.
Yeah, I like that. I like how he pointed that out.
You may give them an unfortunate bit of ammunition.
Do the things that you think are right. Just because somebody, you may give them an unfortunate bit of ammunition, you still got to continue to fight on and do what's best for the state in the long run. And frankly, it's going to give me the opportunity to, talk about things that I may never been able to talk about before.
You mean the bill?
Well, the bill, or talk about, race relations issues, things like that. I mean, I have a freedom that a lot of people don't have because of that.
Because you used the word Aboriginal.
because I've been through the fire, and I can talk to people, I can relate to people, I can let them know what kind of person I am, and we can talk about things that sometimes have been, a little bit taboo.
So because it allowed you to reach audiences you might not otherwise have reached, do you not regret saying it?
I think it gives me some opportunities. I went and spoke to a group in the city of Birmingham. It was a city councilwoman's community meeting, probably 95% African American. And because of...
So he's calling African Americans Aborigines. He had to apologize for it. They probably said, get your ass and fix it.
Right, offhand remark I should not have made.
Which you don't want to say.
Yeah, I know better.
Y'all see that? That man is...
Well, keep in mind that Malcolm X even pointed this out. And there was a lot of people online that got upset with me because I was playing authentic audio, not AI crap, authentic audio of Malcolm X stating that you and I are Aborigines, but you don't like to be called Aborigines. You want to be called an American. And then he started laughing. He said Aborigine actually means from the beginning. That's two Latin words. Ab meaning from, origine meaning the beginning. And when I put that out, it was a lot of backlash. But that was, those were my earlier years. But I was putting this out, letting them know, like, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. You can use any word that mean indigenous. You know what time it is. You know it's us. He knew it was us. Like, that's why I said some people in the government don't know. But a lot of them do, especially if they're familiar with history. Especially if they're familiar with history. If they're well-versed in history, like they went to a good school that actually taught the truth. Yeah.
And get on TV and apologize for calling the African Americans in Alabama, one of the blackest states in this country, Aborigines. He called them Aboriginals, and even an interviewer called them out on it and said it came from your subconscious, because in their world, they're in different societies and secret societies and shit like that. And the truth is the truth, and they know that we're the indigenous people, or the original, what they would say Aboriginal people of this particular landmass of America. The Black Americans are the indigenous Americans, and Scott Beeson said it. And remember, he said we can't just shut down shop because we may give them an unfortunate bit of ammunition. Give who an unfortunate bit of ammunition? Who is he talking about? He's talking about the African Americans he was talking about. Y'all see
the so-called African Americans.
In the game, they're playing with people. They know they stole our land from us, and they know we are the indigenous people of this landmass. They probably told that motherfucker, you better go up there and apologize now. Because why would he be apologizing? Like, if he wouldn't apologize, people probably would even move. They made him apologize. That's how they know their lie is skating on thin ice.
Because think about it.
Of this landmass.
Think about it. Why would you believe that the term Aborigine is derogatory? When has it ever been derogatory? Like, why does he need to apologize for a word that has not been defined as something used in derogatory means? Or in a derogatory sense? Then you knew it was a hidden message. No, hurry up, retract that statement. We can't let that information leak. And but again, like I said, some of them know, some of them don't when it comes to politicians. Some of them don't, some of them do. Yeah, and I saw somebody say that Trump knows. Trump absolutely knows, and said it more than once. Numerous times. He does know.
It's big time Mary.
Most of the so-called Africans or African American people are actually indigenous to this land.
Wait, stop. Wow. Never thought I'd see this. Wow. This is amazing, man. This is amazing. Because see, y'all gotta understand that once we get back what we need to get back to, I'm talking about our people here, the Niji people. Everybody else is gonna follow suit. And I've been saying for years that they're waiting on us. Because we got these folks, it's folks out here that's in the way, right? Let me just try to say this with PG-13, right? It's some folk out there that's in a way that's trying to create laws and passing them. Okay, that's not working in our favor. That's working against us. Like I did see a lot of the Democrats who share the same skin complexion as you and I. Some of the Democrats were upset because of some laws that were deleted. You know, and honestly, they have a backing of DEI, and everyone thought that DEI was actually benefiting our people, and it was not. It was not. There was actually no history of affirmative action or DEI working in our favor. And it's a lot of these, I'm talking about silly folk that we have of ours who are Democrats that will lead you to believe that we received a particular job, as an example, because of DEI. Because of DEI. Just think about it. We could go to the NFL right now. The NFL does not have to hire black people, as an example, just to simplify things, so-called black people. All they have to do is interview them. DEI doesn't guarantee you the job. DEI doesn't, like, they tried to make it seem like it was our benefit. No, it was working for foreigners that share our same skin complexion, but they're not from these lands because they're treated differently. They're treated differently. So it worked in their favor, especially white women. They were able to grab jobs that were supposed to be for us. That was supposed to be for us, but yeah, it mainly went to white women and other foreigners. And that's on record. That's on record. That's not something, you know, that was made up. We can see the numbers. They have statistics out there. And this is how, when I did my research on this is how I knew that we were all being taxed differently. And our people, the Niji people, get taxed the worst out of everybody combined. Our credit purposely held at a certain number on purpose. They make you work hard as hell to get your credit up, especially if you calling yourself black. They doing that shit on purpose. And that's why credit and debt is a game, or debit is a game. Credit and debt, credit, like it's thin air. It's a game. It's literally a game. It's like a game of double dutch. You just waiting to jump in. And when you jump in, you can't let that cord hit you, or it's game over. Or it's game over. They don't even use money, y'all. They really not. They just using their mouth, and that's making the money. What they say go. Oh, this paper has value. They were lying. All we got to do is shut this off. It's that simple. Stop falling for their games. And I heard the other brother say Tamari. If you want to go back to Tamari on a real sense, you know what that means. Mary, great, a Mary, Tamari, the Mary, the great, the greatest. You want to go there? Let's go there. You ready for that conversation? Let's have that conversation. This ain't got nothing to do with no treaty. We know what these lands are. It's ours. We know who these lands are. It's our ancestors. If you're going to fight for it, let's do it. Go back to the great. And that's why, you know, it was a hidden message when Trump was saying, make America great again. And I kept repeating. I said, well, okay, listen. So when was America ever great? Think about it. It's only going to be great in foreigners' favor if everything worked out in a foreigner's favor. We're going to say that it was great for us right before the foreigners came. They didn't drop the T added the con, so they could con you. Dropped the T, added the con. Now they dropped the A in the USA, and it's all about them, not us. It's about them. This entire time. Foreign Affairs Division. Been around since the War Department. And I'm not referring to the one that they recently just changed to the War Department. I'm talking about the original War Department during the Continental Congress era. That one. Yeah, that's cons, not cons. Cons. Emperors. Greats. Chiefs. Kings. Con. That's what that is. But they flipped it. Look how they flipped this. They flipped it, made it CON, and they conned us. They conned their way in. And this goes back to why I'm so glad that this is happening. I mean, even the Latino community know what's up. Now, I know some of y'all, again, and I'm not knocking y'all, I know what y'all are experiencing. Like them folk out there in California experiencing a whole different type of Latino and Latina, right? Some people, I saw that it was, what's his name? Deion Sanders' son went somewhere in South America and was disrespected by a Latina woman. I mean, treated him horribly. And that just recently happened. That was like yesterday or day before. And then to go back to that racist cop that was I believe that was in Texas. I think that was in Houston, maybe. I can't remember where it was located. But see, y'all gotta understand, and this is Dane Calloway to the Latino community. It's been plenty of Hispanics that will tell you that you would not be living the way you are living right now here in North America if it wasn't for the so-called Black Americans. You have us to thank. Because if it wasn't for us, then ICE, as an example, would have went haywire on you and moved all of y'all out. And the only reason why ICE exists is because they only accepting certain foreigners. If you ain't following by their lead, they're going to kick you out. And you all know that. Because look, and there's plenty of other so-called illegal immigrants out here. A lady just got shot by an illegal immigrant out there in New York the other day. Stuff is still happening. But there's plenty of illegal immigrants out here, but they're not just Spanish. Right? Instead of arguing with us, you arguing at the wrong person. What makes you believe that we the enemy? I understand that you upset that our people ain't step up and do nothing ever since they, the last time they did, but that don't mean you get on us. You got to respect the ground that you walking on. Because our ancestors' blood are in them streets. This ain't Mexico. As an example. You can't do that. Now, if you want us to come together, again, it's all about respect and loyalty. Just like how you are with your people naturally, all right? Then you're going to have to do that with your next door neighbors. That's how we move them out. We move them out that way. The cartel run in Mexico. Yeah, they got problems out there. Look at Haiti. And Haiti just got the biggest bailout. They good for 3 to 5 years. I can't remember which one it was. It was either 3. I think it's 3. Scot-free. They don't even got to be a citizen. And Ayanna Presley got that done. She was super happy that she was helping them Haitians. Extremely excited. Yeah, but nah. But that's the only way. No, I agree. But that's the only way that can happen. They got to understand what's going on. Like, they got to understand their history. Yeah, because we can only get with, and we should only be with like-minded people when it comes to unifying. We should only unify with like-minded people. If they are not on our mindset, they need to move. And our people calling them out, and I'm just glad that they are. And again, to go back to this, he looked like a Mexican from LA. He looked like a Mexican from LA. And he said, what again? Let me play this again.
It's big time.
Look, I'm talking about this is surprising.
Or African American people are actually indigenous to this land. You know, they were already here. Columbus didn't find nothing new. There were already people here, you know, and he was in search while he was studying prophecy and scripture, trying to find a holy people that were promised a land that was located to the west, which was essentially us. We're melanated people. Some contain a little bit more melanin than others, you know, but we're still indigenous to this land. This land is ours, you know. So all this reparations and stuff that they want to give, you know, 40 acres and a mule or whatever, that's blasphemy against our people, black and brown. We need our land back, point blank. There's no amount of money that can substantiate the amount of killing and bloodshed that's been done on our people.
And if you're a black American,
I agree. I fully agree. You saying he from East LA? He not South LA? He's including his race. You know why he should include his race? Look, listen. Let me explain. You got to know the history of Mexico to understand. Okay? But he got to be like that in the mindset to understand. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we can't deny that those people are not indigenous to that land. You won't ever hear me state that. Okay? Now, they got attacked and with the mixed breed of Spaniards that came through. Okay? Their story is different. But yes, there is, again, delineation. We're not the same people, but they are right next door. Okay? Meaning that they are indigenous to that land and they have been infiltrated. He knows that a mix happened. That's what the mech is there. Okay? The original mech looked like me. They know that. The Olmec, and it was with a C, not an X. When they say X marks the spot, that's how you know they were changed. They were given that name. That wasn't their name originally. So they were colonized as well. It was just different. It's different. Yeah, when we say Latin community, Latino, Latin, they wasn't speaking Latin. Latin wasn't a spoken language at that time. It was always a written language at that time. Latin, Spaniard, not that side. They weren't speaking Spanish, but they were infiltrated by the Catholics. That's why the majority of them are Catholic. The majority of them are Catholic. The majority of our people are Christian. Catholic Christian societies came through, or many denominations of them came through. And yeah, they infiltrated the lands religiously. That was their religious belief. But they were attacked differently, but it is some similarities. But yeah, and I'm not saying that they looked like this guy. That's another thing that we're gonna have to establish. They didn't look like the indigenous people who are being called Mexicans don't. Okay, he's brown, but like he said, it was one, and I'm pretty sure he knows this. The indigenous people of that landmass was way browner than him. Like, it could go darker, dark brown. They know this though because of some of their statues that are still up the Black Madonna that some of them are worshiping, and some of them is in their traditions, especially. Look up Black Madonna, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. So I'm not gonna say all of them would disagree with what he's saying, but those that are well versed in their history are gonna agree with what he's saying. And I know he's trying to state that we need to come together, but again, I'm going to state that disclaimer that it just only has to be unification of like-minded people, and that's it. It just can't be, oh, we were just beefing last week over our skin complexions. All right, let's drop that now, and we keep getting up. Like, if they had that behavior, it's going to take them some time to change, and I don't think we got time to trust them neither, and I don't recommend that. Those that's not afraid, like him, deserve respect in my book. No matter their skin complexion, but especially if they don't share the same skin complexion as you and I, we should, okay, that's good. Because if we getting backlash, so are they. So are they. You said that dude admitting that can choose his life by his own, community? What do you mean by that? But keep in mind, regardless, I'm pretty sure he got backlash. But that's not to say that all his, once again, all his people not gonna agree with him. Just like when I played the Chinese girl, she was telling you that a lot of people her own people were speaking against her. The white folks that came forward, male and female, told you that their own people were coming at them when they were speaking the truth. Because the truth is not here to make friends. It's not about that. It's about telling the truth and nothing but the truth. Educating people on what the real deal is so we can get to the proper solution. And just not make, guesses and fly it at the wall and hope they stick. We know what it is now. Stop guessing, I understand that you're supposed to have faith and belief, but make sure that you have faith and belief in the truth. Not something that they gave you. So that's why, again, in my book, I'll give him respect for stepping out there like that because he front line now. The reason why is because of his skin complexion. There's not a lot of his kind speaking like this. So they coming at him. You know it. And we shouldn't beat him down because he's doing that. We should lift him up. We should lift him up. I'm just saying, if you want to unify, again, it has to be with like-minded people. Don't forget, our enemy also carries our same skin complexion. So if the enemy comes in various skin complexions, then so can the people that you unify with. When it comes to the time where it's necessary. It ain't gonna be, but very few of them. I'm gonna be honest, because that's how society is now. A lot of them are against us, not just Mexicans or the Latino community. Everybody seem like they're against us, right? The Africans, you name it, go down the list. Everybody after us, right? We did something wrong. What it is they see that we're recognizing the games that was being played on our people. That threatens their reality. Why? Because they benefit off of the lies. So there's another factor as to the reason why I would respect him, because he could lose everything just by saying that, including his own life. Because his own people are gonna be like, shh, don't say that out loud. That's real talk.
Point blank. There's no amount of money that can substantiate the amount of killing and bloodshed that's been done on our people.
Hey, if you a black American, don't scroll. Hey, you want to know why grandma never told you were Indian? It's because in 1924, a guy named Walter Plecker reclassified people that was too dark to colored, or reclassified them into Negro if they were Indian, and he felt like they were too dark. In that same year, 1924, they made it illegal to call yourself an Indian if you wasn't an Indian on paper. Let me remind you, I just told you Walter Plecker reclassified black indigenous Indians as colored or Negro because they were too dark. In that same year, they made it illegal to call yourself an Indian if you wasn't an Indian on paper. Gone.
And where you from? So your tribe?
Cherokee.
Okay.
North Carolina.
Now, what you were saying about the African thing?
Okay. Now, just say when I
That sound like
in the South, North Carolina, I never heard anything about African and black. I always heard about Indian.
So when did African come up play?
Yeah, that's unconscious one. Shout out to unconscious one.
Very,
60s,
very,
70s?
yeah, 16,
What
17.
Roots, around Roots time?
Right.
So you think it was like a mind control thing that they put into it?
Yes.
Really?
That's what I believe, because I still don't believe.
How old are you, man?
80.
What's your name?
Marie.
Huh?
Did she just say 80?
My name is, I don't want to say my name on, but my name is Ahanu.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, bro. Wait, she just said she was 80? Man, and giving it straight, let that sink in real quick. That one. Let that sink in real quick. Let me come back a little bit.
Roots, around Roots time?
Right.
So you think it was like a mind control thing that they put into it?
Yes.
Really?
That's what I believe, because I still don't believe.
How old are you, man?
80.
What's your name?
Yeah.
Marie.
Huh?
Marie.
Okay, my name is, I don't want to say my name on, but my name is Ahanu.
Mm-hmm.
Ahanu means friend to everyone in Algonquin.
Okay, now my mother, that's why I still say, I don't mind, I do say I'm black, but my mother was born in Louisiana, and she was French and Indian.
Okay, yes. But the Indian side was black.
Black.
That's right.
My mother's black.
Wow.
She wasn't French.
She was Indian. She was Indian.
That's
Nazi?
Yeah, that's Creole.
You know, was Nazi Indian or just what tribe are you? You don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Okay, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I'm pretty sure her elders knew.
We go abandon our land. We were here when they got here. They just reclassified us as Indians. And the ones that didn't want to go on the reservations, they put them on the plantation and called us. The one
he said put them on the plantation and called them niggas. I seen this. Hold on, wait a minute.
They want to go on a reservation. They put them on a plantation and classified them as. The rest of them got reclassified as Indians.
Very, very few black.
Now, okay, that's true, but at the same time, even the Indian that was on the reservation got reclassified as well. A lot of reclassifying was happening, bruh. We be going over this point over and over and over again, but at the same time, I just hope people catch it so they can understand. Look, write that shit down. Every time that pops up, and we telling you about Walter Plecker as an example, write it down, look it up. Start seeing what happened. They switching them from Indian to colored. All this reclassification was happening to our people. The majority of the time. And it was a reason why they wanted to continuously hide the record. And I also stated a while ago, long time ago really, that it was Obama that got rid of the terms Oriental and Negro and made it even harder when you're doing your genealogy. I'm not saying that, you can't get it done. You can get it done. But yeah, with him erasing those terms, that means that they went back and changed certain records and it made certain things difficult when you're trying to go down a rabbit hole. But that's how it is in general when you're doing genealogy. You're going down a rabbit hole. And you got to understand certain cities that you're looking up. You got to look at their original names because they could have been renamed over and over and over as well, as far as where that location is, in order for you to pick up on what particular tribe your family was associated with. Because in most cases, they're living within that territory. That's how you know who you are, where they were, and when. That's how you know who you are. Rep it and rep it well.
Were brought over from Africa to America. The black people, the Washita people, for example, down there in the Louisiana area, they were there since time immemorial. The Moroccan or black African Americans, they are the originals, along with the other indigenous Indian bloodlines, okay? So these people had known all along that the indigenous people were God-fearing people and good people, but they created, as we will see, papal bulls to diminish their status to the status of animal so that they could murder them, okay?
Correct, yes, yeah. Okay, now, I never seen that one by Santos, but this is the one a long time ago when this happened. This guy sent to me and I posted this on my channel and reacted to it. This was, I forgot, this could have been even 5 years ago right here.
New York was already there for thousands of years. San Francisco was there for thousands of years. Los Angeles was there for thousands of years. They were built by the indigenous people who were black and Indians as well.
Whoa.
The black people, they weren't brought over by slaves. They are the original owners of America. Whoa. Black people, African Americans. They didn't come from Africa. They were already here.
See, and you know, that's another thing. Certain people need to understand this, as far as it being a fact. With us already being here, that makes more sense as to the reason why white folks wanted to be here and bring more of their people over here. Because if it was empty, how would they be able to take care of themselves? Like, as an example, they tried to say they brought disease over here and took millions of people out because of some disease on a cloth. You believe that bullshit? It was that easy. It was a plague, Dane. So how did they survive? They were immune to it. How did they survive? Treacherous weather conditions on that river, on that ocean. Correction, ocean, not river, ocean. And they on that for 90 plus days and they survived? Come on now. And they survived that with no problem. And look, and had the nerve to hold the cloth that was allegedly holding this disease to take all of us out. That's a fantasy story.
And they plagued them out. And they stole the Smithsonian Institute, which is Jesuit controlled.
Yep.
Stole their knowledge, stole their history, and now we're just left wondering who we are, where we come from, where we're going. We don't.
That's another thing, though, that I talked about as far as the Smithsonian should be held responsible for certain things, and I was trying to do my thing with that. We're getting the ball rolling on that. Certain things did get done, but not to my liking, because the Smithsonian is still holding records, just like how the Mormons are. They doing the same thing. Smithsonian is holding more than records. They're holding artifacts. Smithsonian got stuff up underground, y'all. Right here in America. Up underground. And they're not even putting it inside of their museums. But yeah, and like he said, it's Jesuit controlled. And that, again, it's going right back to their religious, societies. And this is another reason where we have a similarity. I would say, I don't want to say slight, but this is one of the similarities that we have with the indigenous people of South America. Because it was a religious attack on them, just like it was a religious attack on us. That was the attack on the mindset. And that's how they colonized the people.
Anything.
Wow.
Because they did a catastrophe on this earth only a few hundred years ago. The Europeans didn't come here to Mexico to build buildings. They came here to steal the buildings and the gold. They were already here. Everything in Mexico, everything.
And he laughing. What was funny?
Only a few hundred years ago. The Europeans didn't come here to Mexico to build buildings. They came here to steal the buildings and the gold. They were already here. Everything in Mexico, everything in Guadalajara, everything in Cancun was already there for thousands of years. And the Europeans just came over and did a corporate takeover with plagues and catastrophes. And then they just put their flags here and said, well, it's ours now.
This, to me, finding this here was just like, why would they put it in the most prominent hotel at the top of San Francisco? And if you keep going down, I don't know if you saved it or not, but I show the Mark Hopkins Hotel. But, you know, here's the black women. I mean, here's the women that were running the country and ruling over. And you see in the background all the birds and fecundity that were flying in harmony and peace. So you keep. So this is something that's just, you know, why do they have this in the hotel? Why are they making it so significant? These paintings were commissioned back in the 1920s by a very famous artist. I forget his name. You know, and Juniper Serra comes in and they got that big statue on 101, you see, with them pointing across to the lands. So that was all part of the conquest because they were the Catholics were sponsored by Queen Isabella.
Stop. The Catholics were sponsored by Queen Isabella. Listen. And they gave the rest of these explorers letters of marque and told them, all right, go spy on those people. Once they got back, told them what was going on over there, they sent the missionaries. We sent religious organizations, missionaries. It's like, we ain't even got to fight. Let's just bring the Bible with us. That's the sword. We're going to fight them back with that. All right.
To come to conquer the lands. And when they found all the gold and they found all the natives and they found all the fecundity, they just raped it. You know, and they just conquered it, and then they papered over the history of all these people, but they kept it in memory in these paintings and stuff. And this is them bringing the cross. And so all of them were brought into the missions, and I cover it, Mission Santa Fe and these other missions, and they were converted and they were baptized, and then they were buried without markers.
You see? See there? I don't know who that person is right there that's talking, but he's right and exact. He's right and exact. They brought religion. Converted you over. That's how they were able to make their soldiers. Over here. That's how they were able to have an army. Over here. You don't know. No, I don't know who he is neither. I can't even actually see their names because the thing is too... I'm sure people will say it eventually.
Oh, they just came in and took the lands. You know why? Because these people were not violent. They never protected against war because the island, if we can keep scrolling down to get into the island part of it, the island, or that's Whoopi Goldberg there in the picture. And then also the California seal is Queen Califia. They've changed it to Minerva, but originally it was
Queen Khalifa.
Keep going. I think I have a picture.
Wow.
Queen Khalifa.
What's the vintage of this original Queen Califia seal?
That's not the original. Keep going. The next, I think it's in the. Well, here's the Queen Califia. This was in the Sausalito. They did this huge pageantry celebrating her, and this was sponsored by the same people that did the Disney movie and whatnot.
The only reason why
ever. And another thing about that is that she had the West Coast. Like a lot of people were trying to understand where she was at. She was the queen of the West Coast. Like you cannot stop her army. She had a lot of gold. She was very wealthy, very rich, and beautiful on top of that. I'm trying to remember how many daughters she had. I want to be right. I'll share that information at another time when I bring up a topic on her. I want to say 3, but I could be wrong. But the war that happened, the way they had to move her out the way, it took a long time. Because she had an army. And I'm going to be explaining that. I'm going to do that in story format so people can learn about her in detail. Because bits and pieces of information is out there. It's time to give her, her flowers. Give her just due. Yeah, they did more than just kill her. They set her up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get into that, Deuce. With that War Chief Floyd, he don't prove me wrong. Don't run your mouth like. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. If somebody if somebody in the chat trying to, get him, War Chief. Go ahead, fire him up. Get him. Same thing happened in Hawaii. Yeah. I'm not saying. Listen. I'm not saying the surrounding islands. Keep in mind, this is all Turtle Island. The surrounding islands did go through colonization. They did go through that. They're going to give you the stories about the settlers. Oh, they settled there, But yeah, it was just different ways of how it got done. Just different ways. But it was some similarities, and religion was number one.
Nuked America is because of black people.
Religion was the weapon used.
We are the spiritual protection of these lands, okay? And everybody around the world knows this.
Yeah.
Except us, okay? Even the colonizers here know it, right?
Yep.
That's why they want to keep us here. They act like they want to get rid of us. They posture, but they really don't.
Because they feeding off of us.
Us, not black Americans, not the ones indigenous to these lands, okay? Iran has studied their enemy, their nemesis, their bully for half a century, right? They very strategic, okay? They might very well have a nuke, right? They might be playing spades so good right now that they sacrificing books, okay? Just to win on the last book, pretending that they don't have a nuke, right? Israel is the one who ain't got no motherfucking nuke.
Shit.
They do, right?
Nah, I think they do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Israel do have a nuke. I believe they do have a nuke, and they were not in denial of that. In fact, Trump did a feudal slip, and I played that video where he kind of sort of alluded to that. He alluded to that, like, they could nuke him, they could get rid of him at any time, blah, blah, blah. It was Trump that said that. I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember him verbatim what he said exactly, but that was a past live stream where we were on that topic. But yeah, I don't put it past Israel. They got money and they able to buy things. They may be a small country, but don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. They got the Mossad and the CIA. They got pull. The IDF. They got pull. They got money where they don't have to, pay interest. They don't get loans. They get investments. It's a different type of breed right there.
That's typical. Okay. So what America has done, stepping up and trying to protect Israel, right? America done fucked around and showed their hand and showed how weak our military really is. Okay. Yeah, we got nukes, but our military is garbage. No disrespect to the soldiers, because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about y'all. Y'all understand what I'm saying, okay?
I would ask him, what do you mean by that? I'm not gonna lie. I would want to know, what does he mean by that? What do you mean weak? Like, it will leave the military vulnerable, especially if they listen to a tyrant that has no idea how to strategize during a war. Okay, we can't just sit up here and say that the U.S. is the toughest of the toughest. Nah, but they're going in being the aggressor. And whole time, they just don't know what Iran has. The majority of their stuff is underground anyway. Why would they want it above ground when they know that they could just destroy it immediately by just dropping bombs on it? They don't know anything about their underground facilities, and they had 30 plus years to get that done. I wouldn't put it past Iran not being prepared. Okay, I think they would be prepared for a ground war, and but as far as them you saying that the military is weak as far as our military is weak, I doubt it. But when it comes to our military being up under a tyrant's control, I'm not even talking about Trump per se, but it's just in general. Like Trump didn't have to have permission from Congress to get that done. Just generally speaking, yeah, I wouldn't say that the military is weak. So I would ask him, what he meant by that.
We done fucked around and got exposed. When I say we, I mean America, not me, not you, but America. Them got exposed. This shit is embarrassing.
What the fuck y'all crying about, you fucking pretendians? Huh? I heard you all crying because you're getting kicked off these reservations and getting disenrolled and losing your tribal memberships and shit. Oh, well, what did you think was going to happen all those years ago when you stole the fucking land and we're sitting in the spot and pretending, you fucking pretendians?
Right.
Hey, sooner or later it was going to come to catch up with you, and now it's a sooner rather than later. So what do you got to say for yourselves now? All we hear is a bunch of fucking boo-hooing and crying and hee-hee and ha-ha because you motherfuckers know that you're being kicked out for a reason. You don't want to talk about the real reason. The real reason is because you were never that. You never could be that. No matter how hard you portray, no matter how hard you try.
Now hold on. He right exact. Hold on. And this is what I'm talking about. But at the same time, he said that they took over the land. No, they didn't. They, as far as the foreigners, they didn't take over the land. They were given that land. Okay, it was the government that took the land and allotted it to them. The incoming foreigners. We just gotta, make that slight correction right there. But he right exactly going.
That you're being kicked out for a reason. You don't want to talk about the real reason. The real reason is because you were never that. You never could be that. No matter how hard you portray, no matter how hard you try to act and how hard you try to pretend, we know the fucking truth. We know the truth down here. You hear me? It's never been a game, and it's damn sure not a game now. And you dummies, you're getting exactly what the fuck you asked for. And I heard a lot of, they're gonna lose their identity. They're gonna lose this and sense of this and sense of that. Nobody gives a fuck. How do you think my brothers and sisters felt all those years ago when they had to lose their identities, when they had to be murdered, and when they had to be taken off these reservations and taken off, not even the reservations, just their land in general. They had to be taken from their land and lied to and done this and done that and enslaved and tortured. And how the fuck do you think they felt? We don't care how you feel. Get the fuck up off the throne and let the real kings and queens take their places. Let the real gods and goddesses take their places. Hey, the real planet, this is not no game. We're not playing it all with you. You guys destroyed Tamari, and you want to come back to it and think it's yours now? Hell nah, it's over with for y'all.
It's funny how
he said Tamari also.
That we don't know our language, but you have a black woman here speaking fully Chata right here. But notice what she says.
Okay. Na aanvoerder op die amos aan pikken of follow dan pas het nog ilio met het. Ja, dus ja.
Hold on. That's fire. All right. Okay.
Fully Chata right here. But notice what she says.
Okay. Na aanvoerder op die amos aan pikken of follow dan pas het nog ilio met het. Ja, dus ja. Happy mama tackle, happy mama. Not a yacht crying. Answer straight over the towel. You don't want to go and tell my dad and not. You got enough time for I'm the school of supper. Supper mine, I show it. Can you imagine, tree stuff hold up at the lot of state of man. When you not to kill out the kid.
Wow. This is beautiful.
Garden game time to be young and yoga labor no fit mama freezer ni chekata egma na tamali tanu fina yatoke every night in the we go store ma no dayo
she hates stuff.
Dad, he was awata noa dear amoyo abi maubli yata. So no tamali tanoa fina yata. No more than maybe once or twice to kale matama to go to town.
We are not African. We are not African.
Oh, wait, ho. First of all, let me give Elder a round of applause. She going in. Chata, I don't know a lot of Chata at all. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I only know a little bit. I mean, very little. But yeah, nah. See in full Chata. I can't.
Set it on fire. Fire.
Yeah, man.
To go to town.
We are not Africans. We are not Africans.
So you saying it wasn't Native Americans there, it was black?
It was black.
It was black, right. But blacks got Native American in us.
That's native.
Because I'm Indian.
My dad was butcher code.
I'm about to say, Snoop already know. I was just waiting for him to say something. Okay, I'm about to say, all right, okay. And we know Little Richard, though.
He was blue black. My dad was really dark. My mother was real fair. You can tell what she was. My mother was the surviving viewer. My mother was.
Really?
Yes. My mother's Indian. And so I'm not speaking of she wasn't black. She was a black Indian, you know.
I'm not going nowhere, and I'll kill a motherfucker. He tell me to go back to Africa. But listen, I'm talking to black people. Stop that fucking war shit. That go back to Africa shit. First of all, Africans don't like black people. That's first one.
I mean,
they don't like us.
That's true.
And what the fuck am I going to do in Africa?
That I can represent my city, which is definitely a part of here. I'm definitely a native, a true Native American. I got, paternal and maternal sides is Cherokee. So yeah, for like America for real.
I was at my mother's house, which was so the Indians, you could get dirty and you didn't have to work.
Wait, who is that? I can't see who that is. Who is this lady right here, y'all? Saying that she Indian. Is this Tina Turner? I can't tell. That's Tina Turner? Okay, Tina Turner, all right.
Dresses, and I had a lot of fun.
What kind of dance were?
I think my mother said Cherokee, and it's been a long time, I don't know which one it was, she says. I don't even know if she remembers really, but...
Cherokee and Navajo. My father was Navajo and my mother was Cherokee.
Dumbest text conversation I had in a long time. Somebody with a degree trying to tell me something. She African American. I'm an American. Trick me with that shit. That's what they want you to think. You ain't American. Motherfucker, if my ancestors helped build this son of a bitch, why would I say I'm African?
Good point. Very good point.
This thing that I heard is that the Negroes came from Africa. I have history, let me tell you. Here we go, baby. This my great-great-grandmama. She was born in the 1800s. Her name is Minnie Hauser. She's indigenous to America. This my great-great-grandmama on my father's side.
Okay.
And this her daughter in the red. And then the one in the green hat, that's my grandmama. So these are 3 generations of women that been here in America. From the 1800s, you can't tell me a goddamn thing. We indigenous to America. And the crazy part is how they staged all this shit and played in our face. And how we go along with it every day. They know damn well Donald Trump, know exactly who we are.
Yeah,
he went to that meeting. Back in the day, he told them they don't look like Indians to Indians. Here they got us calling us African Americans. They know exactly who they are. They know who we are. We don't know that they invaders. We don't know that they immigrants. They deporting everybody but they goddamn self. Ain't none of they great grandmamas was here. None of them.
Not that great. She right.
Motherfuckers. We sit and we let them drag us. We let them do whatever they want to do to us. Why? Why do we let this white man control us the way we do on our land? Do you understand that the meaning of a damn copper color person is the true meaning of American? And then instead of giving it a rights to us, they gave it to the Europeans, the descendants. You read this shit and you get upset. And then you understand that nobody care in the family. I'm talking to them. Nobody care about Minnie Hauser. Nobody care about her motherfucking problems what she went through. The stories came through in the family. This woman hated white people, white people. It's things that she seen happen to her parents, her grandparents. And then the one in the red left the reservation where she was born at. She was born on the reservation, baby. Let me tell you, all this shit is Indian land.
Indian territory, Indian land.
You don't even understand what it is. You see calling yourself black. You belong here. This land belong to you. Here we all paying rent. We was owners. We owned everything. They took everything from our ancestors. And I'm looking in our eyes.
Biggest capitalist of this society.
Hauser. Look at her eyes. You know how much she's seen with those eyes? And us as the descendants of these people, we allow them to reclassify us and tell us what we are. But I tell you one thing, when my grandmother, Maddie, when she had my daddy, she was considered a color. And so was my daddy and my granddaddy considered a color.
Mm-hmm.
A color. So you understand what happened with the color when they was reclassified? What were they before color? Classifying us. What is going on? Oh, it's crazy.
Native Americans are Siberian.
Oh. First of all, what's her name? Do we know her name? Nah. Wait, is that her name right there? Kiz Brooks? No, Kiz Brooks. That's her name right there. At the bottom, Kiz Brooks. TikTok, Kiz Brooks on TikTok.
What were they before color? Why are y'all keep reclassifying us? What is going on? Oh, it's crazy.
Native Americans that are Siberian hate black folks.
Everyone hates black.
And
Everybody got a name for a nigga.
But don't understand that they're black Indians. I met in the casino. I met black Cree Indians. These dudes were hanging with me speaking Cree. I was like, what the fuck? Bro. They were like, oh, no, we're Cree. They were speaking Cree. The Indians are black. Most of them are black. There's the Siberian ones that look Mexican-ish, came from the Bering Strait. But then, their dances, I just found this out, their dances are from the black folks. The shit they're doing. Black Indians.
Yeah.
This shit is coming.
The two-step. They got the two-step. That's all they do is our two-step. Like, and that's how you know they be copycatting, because all of them doing the same two-step. But like, you know, they not even, it's not their culture. Like, we still doing our own dances that we call it beat your feet out there in the city, you know, DC, Maryland, and Virginia know about that. Then you got jugging. Then you got, it's a whole bunch of dances. That even the Crip Walk, all of them are ours. Like all that. Look at James Brown, the mashed potato. It's a whole bunch of stuff, man. We did a whole bunch of dances and they copycatted.
More here, literally, they tell you not to go to inner cities. Like,
don't go to inner city means black.
Yeah, exactly.
Black.
All right, racist.
They're warriors. From the very beginning, black Americans have been a vital part of the American story, helping to make this the greatest nation in the history of the world.
Let's continue to correct the propaganda and the attempt at
have a comma.
Truth. Black Americans are not the descendants of the Indians in the history books. They are the Indians. The proof has been buried, but it's not gone. When Christopher Columbus washed up on these shores, lost and delirious, who did he write that he found? He called them Indios. He mapped a land he labeled India Superior, a territory that included Florida. He wasn't hallucinating an empty land. He was documenting people who were already there. These images can be found in Gran Canaria, Spain at the Columbus Museum, Casa de Colón. And who were those people? They weren't the pale-skinned Siberians who crossed a land bridge, that's for sure. The historical records, the artwork from the era, the very descriptions, they detail people with dark skin, with hair textures that Europeans had never seen. They describe the original people as dark-skinned and woolly-haired.
TikTok is so funny. She just randomly picking it. That is so hilarious. TikTok is so funny.
Very descriptions, they detail people with dark skin, with hair textures that Europeans had never seen. They describe the original people as dark-skinned and woolly-haired, the true owners of the soil.
Yeah, 10 little engines.
Were Black Americans, the West Indians of the Caribbean, the Indians of the North and South American coasts. All of these territories were Black civilizations. Native Americans are the erasure. They are the last part of the destiny swap. A foreign invasive group from Siberia, and was grafted onto the identity of the people who were already here, while the original people were systematically reclassified, enslaved, and renamed to sever their claim to the land. The Indian Removal Act was a removal of Black indigenous nations. The face on the old nickel, the buffalo nickel, that proud profile was a Black indigenous man, an American Indian. Every time someone speaks about Native American history while pointing to a group that arrived later, they are perpetuating
of dark skin, by the way. Of dark skin. I posted that somewhere. It may even been one of my thumbnails, if I'm not mistaken.
The final stage of the conquest, the theft of the victim's identity. They replace the people and the story. Black Americans are not a people without a land. They are the land. They are India superior. They are the Indians that Columbus couldn't miss, and that every power since has tried to make you unsee. The map doesn't lie. The history books do.
Right.
You ain't gonna believe this. Did you know that?
Shout out to Hava Kama. Yeah, he don't be playing. But that lady popping up like that is hilarious. That is so hilarious. This Ja Bricks. What up, Ja?
Created Pan-Africanism, and not only that, it was created to erase Black Americans' lineage, culture, and identity. I'm about to show you why Pan-Africanism is a scam and how the leaders who push it are inadvertently or advertently pushing white supremacy.
Get 'em.
Du Bois was a prominent pusher of Pan-Africanism.
Right.
He was the first Black American to get a PhD in Harvard University. Guess what the subject was that he got his PhD in? You guessed it, history. Not only was he indoctrinated with one-sided narrative of history, he went to the highest level of indoctrination on that subject. See, Pan-Africanism was created by white people to take Black Americans off of this land, which is America, and ship them to Africa. This is how the country of Liberia came about. And that's why the Liberian flag is similar to the American flag. And it was pushed by a racist group of people called the American Colonization Society. The reason I mention them is because two white races that was a part of that organization directly funded W.E.B. Du Bois.
Yes.
And because our leaders are
and his encyclopedia. They gave him funding for his encyclopedia. He called it, damn, I did a whole segment on this and I forgot the name of that encyclopedia. Oh man, I can't remember it. Can't remember the name of it. But yeah, they gave him the funds for that. They kept feeding him. He was a plan.
Indoctrinated by these racist whites. They are brainwashed into believing a narrative about history that keeps them from understanding that America is their homeland. So they use these puppets to brainwash us. So we might see a black face teaching us.
Yeah, Africana Encyclopedia. Thank you. Thanks, DJ. That's it. Africana Encyclopedia. That's it.
But they are teaching a colonized narrative. So now that that's understood, let's talk about the white men who created Pan-Africanism. So to understand the origins of Pan-Africanism, we have to take it all the way back to the late 1700s. There was an indigenous man by the name of Paul Cuffey. And this one man debunks every lie and narrative you was ever taught about black history. Like, for example, Paul Cuffey was a full-blooded indigenous man, but because of his skin color, he will be considered a black American today. See, history likes to make it seem like all black people were slaves during this time and poor, but he was neither. Now, what does Paul Cuffey have to do with Pan-Africanism, you may ask? Everything. See, Paul Cuffey is one of the first victims of Pan-Africanism in history. He got his indigenous identity stripped from him, and over time, your favorite historians has been lying about his identity. Paul Cuffey was a Wampanoag Indian. And Wampanoag Indians was the Indians that the Pilgrims came across. You know, the Thanksgiving story. And here are historical depictions of how the Wampanoag Indians look. I mean, even one of the Indians who directly came across the Pilgrims was named the Black Sachem. And this is a picture of his granddaughter.
If you want to watch the full video, click the link in my bio for the link.
Hey, shout out to Ja. Shout out to Ja Bricks. He on YouTube as Ja Bricks, J-A-H Bricks. Spelled correctly.
Indians?
Wait, what is this? Kanataway. Wait, huh? Stitch incoming. I Show Speed meets the Taino Indians, Virgin Islands. This must be brand new. Now, see, Latino. The Tainos will be considered the indigenous people of that territory, of the Virgin Islands, some in South America as well, right? Now, this is the part where I was talking about don't turn your nose up to the indigenous people of the territory of America because they look like you and I, okay? They look just like you and I. That's why I said Turtle Island is all of this, the whole thing. Look, down to his afro, like down to the person right there, the curly hair. I'm actually glad that he got a chance to see them. Hopefully he don't, try to be funny and stuff, and he actually take this in. Because they know what's going on. Let me see.
I Show Speed, ignorance be gone. We got to talk about the Pan-African propaganda. Black Americans, indigenous American Indians. This is Calloway, the fifth great grandson of Nat Turner, one of the greatest American freedom fighters of all time. On my channel, we talk about journalism, psychology, communication, media, and public relations in relation to protecting the identity, the history, the legacy of my lineage in the United States of America. Oftentimes, through these channels, through these mediums, our narratives are changed, but we're correcting the action. These are also the areas of my expertise that I have my college degrees in. Listen, I Show Speed, ignorance be gone. He stumbled upon some Taino Indians in the Virgin Islands, and they are very melanated, look similar to Black Americans in the United States of America, and they say that they are the original people of the island.
That Columbus ran into.
The original people of the island. And I Show Speed looks so shocked. Let me see your hair. What kind of hair is this? The same hair you've been looking at in the United States of America? Now listen, I Show Speed is Black American. I do believe he has a grandmother that is Jamaican. When he went on this African tour.
Isn't Nat Turner a myth?
Tour,
yeah, Nat Turner not real.
He's not African, right? Now, Black Americans, indigenous American Indians have been talking about the Racial Integrity Act of 1924 that reclassified and misclassified indigenous American Indians from Indian to Negro, colored, mulatto, Black, and these terms were not synonymous with being African descent. This was a real law that spread throughout the states, right? Different policies and different laws, right? A domino effect of peril and disenfranchisement. Indigenous American Indians, indigenous Americans were the first enslaved in the Americas and the United States, right? The least amount of Africans came to the United States of America. The majority went to the Caribbean, right? This is what we've been talking about, but let's talk about the propaganda. Now, you have seen I Show Speed running around with that foreigner Shaka Bars, that raw foodist guy who is what he seems to be half white, correct? But he's so pro-African and pan-African, right? And the South Africans are tearing apart Africans in South Africa right now. There goes the unity. But listen, they're on this global African, pan-African tour, and he stumbles upon some Taino Indians who are heavily melanated, who look similar to Black Americans. And he's so shocked. Now listen, I'm going to give him some grace because he is young. He is young. But listen,
his father told him
the hype.
Hold on. We don't necessarily have to say, okay, he's young and just blame it on age. It's just the ignorance of him not knowing what happened here in America. That's what we could put it on. But his father did try to tell him. I did share a video that the last time he was on tour, and his father explained that to him, that our people are indigenous to this land. He was trying to explain it to I Show Speed and I Show Speed's brother. And that was his real father teaching him that. Shout out to I Show Speed's dad for teaching him as much as he could right there. But yeah, I mean, of course, I Show Speed is traveling around because, that's his thing. That's what he do. And I mean, I'm glad that he he was able to meet the Tainos right there at the Virgin Islands. I was hoping that they were going to get into it. But I'm sure, that he's on a time schedule, et cetera, et cetera. I just really wish that would have been like a deeper conversation. He would have had more questions, maybe, or somebody could have mentioned something to him, because the Virgin Islands are a part of the U.S. On top of that, I don't know if he put 2 and 2 together. I don't know that. But hopefully he did. Maybe he did. I wouldn't count him out. He's, he seemed like he's interested in history. This is the reason why he's traveling, not just doing all of this just to make money from streaming. I believe he's paying attention. I hope he is. David, thank you for the super chat, David. Good live. Absolutely. I appreciate that, David. Yeah, so it's like, okay, so I would hope, and I'm gonna try to grab, I'm gonna look online to see if he did some more talking with them, to see how long, this meet and greet was right here of him, visiting the territory. And you see that Mama Chief right there. I just want to see. And I don't know if that's them exactly as far as this picture is concerned, but yeah, they look like us. They look like us. And that's the reason why I was trying to explain to you guys about, the so-called Latino community as well. Don't get it twisted. It's not, who you think it is, like the very brighter brown and, or the mid-tone brown or the white, part of their side. Like they have been infiltrated, and especially their mindset. They don't know. A lot of them don't know. But some of them do know, but a lot of them don't know. We would have to educate them.
This is a setup, not the part about him finding Tainos. No. He was in the United States of America, right? I Show Speed, along with Casanet, who is half Haitian and half Trinidadian. And I remember them going on reservations to the Eurasian-looking natives, right? The Eurasian natives. The Siberian Asian presenting natives, racially ambiguous, heavily mixed natives, right? And this was done on purpose because just like the Tainos and the melanated tribes, indigenous tribes in the islands, there are many indigenous tribes in the United States of America who are Black American, so-called Black Americans who are Black, and they were labeled Negro, colored, mulatto, and Black on our census record.
And Creole.
States of America. Southeastern woodland Indians are not the same as Western Native Americans that present Eurasian and Asian. I did a video of Southeastern woodland chiefs. They were on the panel and they were saying they never looked like the Indians. They were saying they never looked like the natives in the West. But this is the history we've been trying to tell people. But how many tribes are there in the United States of America that was reclassified and have Black presenting people?
Thousands.
Federally recognized tribes. They avoided that representation on purpose in the United States of America. Of course, you're going to run into some Tainos, that tribe. You go to the islands. Just like the Taino people, they were talking about the other tribe in Dominica. Right? They don't want to show melanated indigenous people, period.
Yeah, and see, that's another reason why I was like, well, some people out there are not going to know that. This is brand new to them when they started seeing people of that landmass and further into, for example, South America that look like us. Like a lot of you all will be like, well, some Puerto Ricans favor us, some Cubans favor us, and some Dominicans favor us. But nah, that's not it. That's not it. It's plenty more. You could tell that something happened. And something did happen. They were infiltrated as well.
Similar to so-called Black Americans. They don't want this history out. What do I mean by they? The Pan-Africans. The people that put together this fucking tour. What do I really think about this tour? Listen, it's a PR stunt. Now listen, you guys know I went to school. I have a master's degree in communications media with specialization in public relations, bachelor's degree journalism, minor in psychology. It's a great PR move. I Show Speed is more talented than Casanet. What is the PR move? Okay, well, when you want likability and you want to brand yourself and be the big upcoming thing, of course you're going to go to every place in Africa. You go to every place in the Caribbean. You're going to become very likable with different ethnicities all over the world. These people will become your base. Why didn't I Show Speed bring his family along? You got all this money. You say you a lost African. Why you didn't bring your family along to Africa with you? Make it a whole family thing.
Wait, he did bring Well, maybe, I don't know about this time, but he did bring his family on tour with him the last times. He brought, well, at least his father, you know, and his brother. So I don't know. I haven't been, you know, watching him recently as far as what he's doing right now. Maybe this guy's accurate with stating that. But I do recall in the past that he was with his father and his brother. And they were on his tour bus. And they did travel, you know. And maybe, I don't, again, maybe he's not traveling with them right now for whatever reason. I'm not sure.
Right?
I don't know that right now.
The money. Your father didn't want to go with you because he said he wasn't African. Okay, this is a great PR move for people who want to be likable. You get those funds up that way later in life. Everything you're selling to Africans, the Caribbeans, the Asians, the Mexicans, the Native Americans.
Okay, so he's claiming that his father said no because he's not African. I mean, that could be the case. I don't know.
People, everybody's going to buy into you. I see everything from a power play thing, public relations, marketability. This was deliberate. Now I want you to take a look at this video when I Show Speed was in the United States of America and he came into contact with a Eurasian tribe, right? And I guess there were so-called black people in his chat saying that, you know, that those aren't the real natives and, you know, whatever they were saying. They just wanted representation because this is what happens when you don't have representation, when you don't have balance, right? And I Show Speed was like, put some respect on those natives' names. These are the real natives, the real original people of the USA, right? This is what he said. But there was no representation of black presenting melanated, presenting indigenous American Indians in the United States of America. And they could have found many tribes. But take a look at this video. It's very interesting. Wait. The term African American was popularized in 1988 by Jesse Jackson. Not all black Americans call themselves African American. African Americans interchangeably use African American with black American. Not all black Americans. African American was officially put on the USA Census year 2000 nationwide, okay? It was never ever on the USA Census before that. So listen, take a look at this video and understand the importance of representation.
Speed tells his chat to respect Native Americans. Okay, I will have to, because there's no audio. I will have to pull that up to see what is being said. Yeah, but there's a clear distinction between us and them. Again, Speed will have to be educated on that note. Like, he needs to hear it more than, unfortunately, it needs to be coming from more than just his father. Because don't forget, this is what they're teaching our children inside of these schools. They're teaching that we came from Africa.
Commented on one of my posts and he was like, I'm sorry, but you don't sound indigenous to me. You sound just like a white Southerner. And this is your unfriendly reminder, and in the words of Columbia historian Melinda Maynor Lowry, that indigenous people are the original Southerners and that we were here before something called the South ever existed. So have you ever considered that maybe a white Southerner actually sounds like me? Where they originally came from, England, Ireland, Scotland, they didn't sound like this.
Wait a minute. Is she high yellow? Because I'm talking about she can pass right here. She can pass. Now, she got to be mixed. I don't know. She just high yellow. I wouldn't, okay, tell you what. She mixed to the core. Okay. She looked kind of good. Oh man, you said she looked kind of good.
Yeah, that brother's starving. Yeah, that brother's starving.
Nah, but look. So anyway, she mixed. Okay. Yeah, she caught me off guard because she caught me off guard. Let me hear what she's saying. Let me hear what she's saying. Hold on, let me hear it.
So have you ever considered that maybe a white Southerner actually sounds like me? Where they originally came from, England, Ireland, Scotland, they didn't sound like this. You think indigenous people didn't help co-create the Southern dialect? You think Africans didn't also do the same thing? Did you know that Greeks are an indigenous invention? And where do you think cornbread comes from? Did you know that like 80% of the foods that most Americans eat are foods that were originally from the Americas? Which means basically your whole diet is indigenous. So make sure you remember that indigenous people are not only co-creators of Southern culture and Southern dialect and Southern cuisine, we are also the original Southerners. Bless your heart.
Okay. She passing. I'm gonna tell you that right now. She passing. They would have back in the day, they would have labeled her Negro. Definitely. They would have labeled her Negro because she passing. Like I said, I told you Negroes usually marking, people who were mixed or a foreign group. You said mulatto. Yeah, she could have been, that and Creole. You right. I don't see Creole though. She got a southern accent. I don't hear Louisiana. I was hearing she from Tennessee or something. She's somewhere right there somewhere. But it could even be heavier. To me, I don't know. I don't know where she from. She definitely from the South. She got a South accent. For sure. But yeah, again, I'm not going to agree with everybody's take because she did mention Africans briefly. And I'm like, nah, you ain't even gotta, everything was cool till you said that. Yeah, Tennessee, yeah, she did sound Tennessee. Georgia, yeah, it did sound Southern Georgia. But she was passing for sure, which is, again, her people could have been, okay? She probably got that in her bloodline. She probably did her genealogy. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to take that from her or nothing. At least she know. But, it's just a slight correction on the African part, in my opinion.
Are you asleep? Come on, you're not sleeping. Listen to me. I'm asking. You hear me? I'm asking. You black little Indian, come on, you hear me? I see you in there.
They always put it in the films.
Find our family members on the 5 civilized tribes because their application got rejected.
That's funny because you don't apply to be part of a tribe.
Oh. What'd she say? Oh, wait a minute. Let me hear this again.
You black little Indian, come on, you hear me? You know something? I see you in there.
What if I told you that the reason we can't find our family members on the 5 civilized tribes because their application got rejected?
The reason why that we can't find our family members on the 5 civilized tribes is because their application got rejected. That's not true. Meaning, that's not the reason why you can't find them. The application being rejected is because they only accept a particular census date, especially Cherokee census date. They only accept a particular census date. If your ancestors are on that, they're gonna walk you in there. If they not, they're gonna give you a hard time. So that's not true. That's not the reason why you can't find them. The reason why you can't find them is because you're not looking at any and all census records. You're going through A through Z with the census records, not just the dolls, for example, not just the dolls. You have numerous census records that you would need to go through to see if your family members were enumerated. Okay? If they were enumerated, they'll be there. You'll find them. But no, that's not. So she was a little incorrect with that. And let me see what this pale face about to say. Now, hold on. This is not to knock my sister at all. I'm not knocking. I disagree automatically with he about to say, and I don't even know what he about to say. But it looked like he some type of devil in the face, and he about to lie. Yeah, I'm disagreeing with this guy automatically. It was just a small correction on her part, and that's me to her. But this ain't got nothing to do with this nigga here talking. Let me hear what he said, though.
Yeah. What if I told you that the reason we can't find our family members on the 5 civilized tribes because their application got rejected?
That's funny.
And I would love to hear the rest of that. But if she said that as the period, then yeah, that's incorrect. But at the same time, that don't mean that what he about to, let me hear it though, let me hear it.
Don't apply to be part of a tribe. And the reason why you guys aren't finding your...
Stop, you do apply to be a part of a tribe. You lied off the break. As far as a nation is concerned, you know what she was referring to. Cherokee Nation, you gotta apply. How else are you gonna receive your membership card? Now, unless you're using the term tribe as in family, then that's your birthright. But no, when it comes to you Siberians, you don't have birthright inside of a family. You're only applying to a nation, which is a business, a corporation, and you're becoming a member of it.
Ancestors on the 5 civilized tribes is because they're probably not actually Indian. So a lot of black and white Americans say they got Cherokee, Choctaw, Blackfoot ancestry, when really it's European ancestry. And if you're white, it's probably black ancestry. They're both ashamed to have each other's ancestry.
And we could definitely see the European in you. Look, we could see Spaniard all day long in your face. We could see the Siberian Husky. We could see that in your bloodline, clearly.
So they lie and say it's something cool like what I am, Indian. But yeah.
You think you Indian? Asian Indian. That's the only Indian you can be, is Asian Indian.
Maybe you guys aren't Indian. Maybe the DNA test is telling the truth and you are just majority African and European.
If the DNA test was telling us the truth, then why don't you accept it? Right now, right? I'm just alleging that look, let's just say he a part of a tribe, right? He in those so-called federally recognized tribes. You had to have the federal government's permission to recognize you as a tribe. Oh, in order for you to be a family, the federal government has to give you approval. Yeah, that's not how it works, does it? That don't sound like somebody that got their birthright and you over here keying and laughing. You ain't got no control right now over your own goddamn life. You in a foreigner's position. That's on your way out. Tread lightly. Tread lightly. You don't even got 4 lips. Where they do that at? You look like a goddamn frog. I paused you right when you said ribbit. You look like a frog with a wig on. You don't even got facial hair. You look like you got a lizard tongue getting ready to pop out. Yeah, this Kermit from now on. His name is Kermit.
But why do you guys care so much about what people think? I mean, when we look at you, we see a mulatto, and majority of black Americans are mulattoes. So what's wrong with that? And a mulatto is someone...
That's inaccurate. Come on, Kermit. You don't even know what you talking about. You never do. Y'all never know y'all people's history because you never want to go find out. And by the way, when it comes to, let me go back to my point because it just returned to me. When it comes to the DNA that you telling people they should do, in a way you're alluding to that. That same court system that tribe, pick one, the federally recognized tribe will hold, do not accept genealogy DNA research because it ain't research. They don't accept that as evidence. Even if yours was to say 53% Native American, they still not accepting it. Because they're not basing it off of genealogy DNA. Hell, they're not even basing it off of bloodline. Because if they were basing it off a bloodline, then who are them white folks that's in charge of them tribes? That claim they did by bloodline. You look like you used to be on cocaine. The real cocaine. You like don't relapse.
Of European and African ancestry. They say statistically only 5% of y'all are Melungeons. That's European, African, and Native American. You guys wouldn't even be quarter bloods or half breeds. So I don't even know.
Look at the Chat GPT research. Not even going towards this point anyway. You just throwing up anything to try to validate what you got to say when you ain't really saying nothing. Where's the records of your family? Put those up. Since you over here paying attention to us, Kermit, put your records up. Show us how your folks just got here or been here.
Why you guys are trying so hard to steal somebody else's identity. And if you actually are Native, you shouldn't need our validation or our approval.
Exactly. We don't need your approval. We don't need your validation. We not once said that we was Native. Why? Because anybody can be a Native. Why you think you have that term on you? Anybody born in America is immediately a Native American. That doesn't mean that you're indigenous to this land. Indigenous people consist of multiple tribes, not multiple different races of people. There was no such thing as indigenous peoples of America. It was only indigenous people, already plural, not adding more than one race into the equation. Your race just got here. Now, I'm talking about, we can't even consider you Mexican. You straight Asian. You Siberian for real. Kermit. You not even from South America. You European. You look like a European. You favor a European. Hard. David, thank you for the super chat. David said he actually has a melanated grandmother with an afro on a reservation, and he's half German. No, he's all the way German and borrowed the identity of that melanated grandmother that was on the reservation by stealing it. You know how they do. They attach themselves to our last names. We know better, Kermit. This shit ain't flying with us no more, Slim. You got another thing coming. You wearing that wig you got on.
It's like you guys are showing like pictures of black people and fucking mulattoes and saying, yeah, look, this is the Indian. And it's like, okay, Do you speak the language? No. They stole it from us. You guys make up dumbass excuses that...
You speaking our language right now. How'd you learn that? I'm gonna say this again. You speaking our language right now. How did you learn that? His kinfolk is the real pale face. Now look, his kinfolk definitely the real pale face, and his kinfolk is definitely the real colonizers. Not that melanated grandma that's on that reservation. This fool here and his folk was adopted in. You ever seen Killers of the Flower Moon? You know how real that is? That happened to a lot of our ancestors. That's how they was able to take the land, place themselves in there. Making our women, okay. They scared now. Look at them. They scared online. With his $8 to $10 artifacts on his wall that he got from Amazon behind him. He didn't know how to put that together. He don't know how to sew. You know how many quilts our grandmothers make a day? This fool don't even know how to do any of that. I bet he couldn't even change a light bulb in his own damn house.
Like English is your language, or you guys spoke Hebrew or Egyptian. That's dumb. You guys also say that you're like Cherokee, Choctaw, Blackfoot, but you'll live in like nowhere's near their lands. Also,
nowhere's near? Yeah, it sounds like a European, broken English. Yep, it's coming out.
Your grandma, just because she says she was Cherokee, doesn't mean you're actually Cherokee. Was your grandma part of the tribe?
Again, that's your opinion. Just because your grandmother says she was Cherokee don't mean that she was Cherokee. That's your opinion. Again, I just said that the Cherokee Nation is only accepting one dated census when it was way more than one. Before you got here, you and your folks got here. Before it was even called Cherokee, believe it or not.
Maybe, and here's the thing, I think a lot of you guys, a lot of Black Americans are thinking that they're actually like Cherokee Choctaw because their ancestors were enslaved by the Cherokee Choctaw.
That's your opinion again.
Civilized tribes practice chattel slavery. They're the only tribes to do that. And it's kind of weird that you guys would claim your slave master's tribe. And maybe you weren't slaves. Maybe you guys did mix into the tribe.
And it's also kind of weird that you would claim a slave's last name or surname as your own. If you wasn't a slave.
Right, but what are you doing now to uphold that? Are you going to have kids with another native and make sure your kid is raised in the culture?
We don't want to have kids with your kind.
Culture on territory, speaking the language.
Look at you. Kermit. You probably don't even have kids of your own kind. You got time to hop on the internet and talk about what we doing. And trust me, we not claiming your kind at all. You can keep that. I'm trying to keep it professional.
Language? No, you probably like your own kind, Africans, and you're gonna mix and dilute and water down your bloodline every single time. And then,
right.
You know, this is a
look, says the person that's pale skin. We're probably gonna mix and dilute your bloodline. Says the person that's pale skin. Can't get a drop of melanin in his skin if it saved his life. No, you're European, Spaniard.
Exactly what's going on. There's an identity crisis, and you guys are trying to steal people's identities. And that.
Then why we not locked up? Identity crisis? Identity theft is a crime. Why we not locked up? Somebody lying.
That's why people don't like me, is because I call them out and I check them like this. And I don't mean to be disrespectful.
I just called you out. I just checked you, Kermit. I would love to open up the panel for you. Cut the camera on. We could talk. We could have a conversation. I'm going to give you your people's history and where you came from. There was already people in the chat saying they know your grandmother. It'd be real easy for me to get the truth. Your history don't go back too far. You got to stop and point. I know it's going to get back to you. I dare you to pull up, Kermit. I dare you. It don't got to be today. It could be tomorrow. It don't even got to be tomorrow. It could be the next day. Come on, Kermit. Stop hiding up under the ground.
I'm just trying to be real with you. You're probably Nigerian and British. Take a DNA test.
Do this say United States of America? Is that what it say? It don't look like it say United States of America to me. That motherfucker say to marry. That's our country, to marry. New maps, not no old maps. We're gonna have our own navigational system. You're gonna open up your phone and you're gonna look at the map and it's gonna say to marry. It will not say United States. That's how we take the country back. It first off has to start taking it back in the minds. The minds and the books.
They lied when they told you in history all the Indians gone. Where they go? Where they go? Where they go? They said there was 8 billion Indians. Where they go? You really believe they killed 8 billion of us? They just got here. They just got here. Got here. Fuck what they telling you. You see, these motherfuckers went back and wrote themselves in our history they got spells of us trying to make us think that they been here and shit, because we have forgot, nigga. 500 of their man-made years, nigga. 1492 is when they landed. They didn't take over to 1776.
They ain't even take over then.
They been here for forever. They just got here, nigga. You are the Indians.
Come up to the 1850s.
Indians, nigga. The Indians that they show you are $5 Indians, nigga. What they call $5 Indians. These are human beings posing as motherfucking Indians, nigga. Getting all the land reservations, all the free land, all the money, nigga. We are the Indians. You looking at them. You looking at them every day, nigga. They didn't kill us. They just renamed us. They enslaved us and renamed us. They didn't bring us across from no motherfucking Africa neither.
Couldn't do it.
They got you thinking we all came from Africa to hide the fact that we was everywhere, nigga. We everything.
When it comes to melanated people in general. I agree with that.
I ain't gotta take you up into the cosmos.
But that don't mean we all related though.
Whole fucking cosmos, nigga. We can just stay right here on the planet with this shit. 8 billion motherfucking Indians, nigga. Where do you think they went? You looking at them, nigga.
I love my people down, but I cannot stand you pretendians. You guys are so detrimental to the brand, and I'm sick.
Stop. Oh, Stop. Okay. I'm be nice. I'm gonna be nice.
I do prefer Black American, but I will use African American interchangeably. Like, yes, I am American born and bred. My family has been here.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be nice. Hold on. I'm gonna be nice.
We built this. Like, we did that. But guess what? I can't, like,
stop, chat.
Me.
Stop.
West and Central Africa.
Stop, Cher.
West and Central Africa. 77% West and Central Africa. I've even spoke to my Nigerian cousins.
Oh my God, bruh. Hold on, I can't, bruh. I gotta skip up, bruh. I can't. I'm trying. Okay, I'm a little, all right, hold on. I'm trying, bruh. It's just not. Okay, all right.
I forgot y'all don't believe in ancestry tests. You guys don't believe in science. You say it's just for entertainment purposes only, although people in my family have found siblings. People have found parents through the DNA testing sites, but y'all don't believe in science?
Stop, sister. You are so ignorant. Here's why. That is not the same DNA test that you're referring to. What you're referring to, what you're trying to state is that the genealogy DNA testing is the same thing as paternal DNA testing. It's not the same. They're claiming that genealogy DNA testing will be able to tell you your historical genetic makeup overall by the use of saliva coming from you. That technology does not exist. That doesn't mean science doesn't exist, like how you just claimed. That just means that that technology does not exist. They started DNA testing in the 1980s. Okay? And from the 1980s to 2026, which was not even 50 years, they were able to dig up each and every one of our ancestors' graves. No, they were not. In fact, they haven't done it. So what are they basing that information on? What are they basing their biobanks on? Living people. Living people that you don't relate to, you don't relate with, you don't know who these people are. They just in the biobank. Whoop, they just put it in there and say, hey, we got history on everybody because we got everybody's saliva. You believed it. Without proof, without evidence. We can't take the genealogy DNA test and then come back and say 68% Nigerian as an example and go to Nigeria and get established into a tribe in Nigeria. That's not how it works, young lady. That's for entertainment purposes only. That type of document would not be official without a paper trail of your genealogy, the genealogy on your family. You got to have a track record that will tell you about your family. The reason why is because the genealogy DNA test cannot come to you with names and locations of your distant family members who are not with us in the physical. So there's no comparison to paternity DNA testing to find out if we related to another living being. Again, they have not reached that far to determine your historical genetic makeup without having to dig up our ancestors' graves. So you're basing that off of he say, she say. You're basing your argument off of he say, she say. And you're loud and wrong. You're not a scientist. A scientist, multiple scientists came out and said that genealogy DNA testing is fraud by way of the companies that charge you an arm and a leg and actually do not do any history, paperwork style, behind that to match it. And you fought, and people felt for it. It's not the same thing. People do not take genealogy DNA testing results and run to court because the government lied and took us from Africa. If the government took us from Africa for real, and this genealogy DNA testing is telling us that, then why are we not using it as evidence and suing them in court? Because it's for entertainment purposes only. You got that? Don't worry, I'll repeat it again sooner or later.
Oh, I am 77% African. I don't have African grandparents or great-grandparents or anything like that. So that's why I do prefer Black American. But guess what? I still have a lot of African blood in me. Yes, there's a lot of xenophobia towards Black Americans in the diaspora, but that doesn't mean you have to completely distance yourself and disregard the fact of history. And also,
distance yourself and disregard the fact of history. What history? You're not making any sense.
Just to the rest of the diaspora, y'all hear a couple people like that and y'all think all Black Americans think like that. Most of us do not think like this. And y'all need to get more Black American people in your lives. If you think...
Stop. You sound ignorant. If we're so-called Black, then we have plenty of so-called Black people in our family. We're around our family and our neighborhoods. So you mean to tell me... Okay. We got to bring more people in our lives to be right and exact? You're not making any sense.
This represents all of us. Pretendians, coons, hoteps are all the same people.
That's cap. That's cap. Pretendians, the term pretendian was a label that was calling out the Siberian Huskies that were infiltrating the indigenous tribes. The Hotep people are those that believed in Kemet and all the rest of that. Like they believed in Pan-African ideology. And who else she say? I forgot who else she said. Well, no, but they're not all the same. But the one thing that they do got in common is that they have an agenda to try to sway the truth from coming out to people like you who are ignorant as to what actually happened. So you're basing it off of somebody else's opinion because you literally don't have no idea what you're talking about. But you just want to, come online because everybody's able to have a mic and speak their piece, right? Or speak their part. But that doesn't mean that you're truthful. That doesn't mean that you're speaking the truth just because you have a mic in your hand. You don't know what you're talking about. And you won't ever try to find out. You're suffering from confirmation bias. A lot of our people are. Because you exposed yourself by saying, get with other people who are Black American. In other words, what you're trying to allude to is that some people need to be around people that act and think like you. But that just means lost people need to get with more lost people. How they ever gonna be found if they continue to, stand with y'all? It's supposed to be problem and solution, lost and found, or lost then found, not lost and then continue to be lost. That's not solving the problem.
Overcorrect what has happened in society towards Black Americans and don't realize the overcorrect has turned into self-hate. Now y'all are the original
self-hate
people, but before y'all were the original Egyptians and the original Jews, and
you confusing people with other people. Again, what we are doing is not reestablishing our beliefs. That's not what we're doing. We're not latching on to somebody else's belief. That's not what we're doing. We're not out here saying join a cult. Oh, read this Bible. That's not what we're doing. All we're doing is looking up our family's ancestry by way of records, genealogy records. And actually knowing, not believing, knowing who we are. There's a difference between us and them. Everybody else is cosplaying. Us. So that's the reason why you seem confused. Because you don't get it. Because everybody else has their own ideology when this has nothing to do with an ideology. We're against the bullshit they've been giving us, which is bad sociology. And we're fighting back and we're winning. How about ask questions if you don't know? It's nothing wrong with that. That's what schooling is about. Asking questions until you know the answer. But the compulsory education that you received, the teachers told you to hold your questions until the end of the lesson, right? That way you'll be more liable to forget. They're not there to teach you. They're there to indoctrinate you. Yes, it's a difference between us and them. You're gonna learn.
To be Black American is to be a walking miracle, and knowing what our ancestors went through and persevered through, and we've, in this short amount of time, being one of the youngest ethnicities, created the most influential culture in the world. Like what? All the accomplishments.
If you knew about our culture and our accomplishments and our history and our traditions, our practices, our even spirituality, you will be fighting for what you know is yours. You wouldn't be online arguing with us. You'll be arguing with the people that need to be held responsible. Stop being ignorant and teach yourself.
The amazing thing.
It's not self-hate, it's self-love. Our people never had a chance to heal. Love yourself. The only way you can love yourself is if you know yourself. It's that simple.
Created in such a short period of time, and you mean to tell me I need to disregard the truth because...
No.
What? I'm not denying that Black Americans, a lot of us do have indigenous ancestry. We've been here for hundreds of years with a group of people.
Stop. Right after that, you contradict yourself. You just have questions. You've been led astray.
Like, of course, there's going to be some admixture, but even real indigenous, Afro-Indigenous people are never going to deny their African ancestry.
Why? Why is that? Because what if they don't even have African ancestry? Because they don't. Africa didn't populate this landmass, sister. Africa didn't even have the population to populate this landmass and keep theirs. They weren't overcrowded. Where y'all getting that from?
So the fact that you pretendians do is disgusting. See them using clippings like these all the time to prove that we were here before indigenous Americans, who've been here for thousands of years, by the way. They don't see that they're using or letting white supremacists tell our history.
Stop. What? So the information that the people who know who they are, the information that they post up is information from white supremacy or white supremacists. Yeah, but if we use the information that they put out against them to say, hey, you said right here, then how is it going against what our people are? In a negative sense. So just because you have an opinion about it and you calling that information whatever you want to call it, does not mean that it's not truthful. Again, you're suffering from confirmation bias. If it doesn't confirm what you already hold on to as your belief, then you don't want to hear about it. And you're going to discredit it. Ignorantly. That's a mental issue with yourself. And I'm not trying to be funny.
Suddenly, y'all trust white supremacists?
See?
Trust that this is accurate?
Well, why don't you look it up and see if it's accurate? Instead of making yourself look like a fool, this is the question. This is the best question you could come up with. It said Cherokee nigga 1892. You ain't want to look that up? Find out where they got that from? Nah, you too lazy. Again, you want to hold on to what you were taught. You were misled to believe one story, and you gonna call it the truth. That's your fault.
White supremacists even call Middle Eastern sanity. So suddenly they're black? Suddenly we need to claim Middle Eastern because white supremacists called them a slur?
But
the logic.
That's irrelevant. We're not even talking about that.
That these people are so loud online and now people actually think we believe this stuff. Some do, but most of us know exactly where we come from. So yeah, to anyone who is non-black American who gets...
Where you from? You know exactly where you come from? Where? Where?
Attacked by these people, they also attack.
Chat is leaning on her,
saying that we have African ancestry. Every group of people have extremists, so don't act like Black Americans are somehow different for having like a group of people who think crazy things. But liken these people to flat earthers and just move on about your day if they're in your comment section, because they do.
Listen, look, do what you're gonna do with your hair. Finish taking it out. You know, if you want to get an African to braid your hair, go do it then. So be it. That don't mean that we're against Africans. We're not saying that you got to be against Africans. All we're doing is saying, look, who we are. Why don't you go look up who you are? Why you so afraid? And hurry up and finish doing your hair. Like,
it to me as a Black American who is very Black American.
Okay.
And to all my beautiful guys and goddesses out there, Ashe, Ashe. I know it's been 2 days since y'all heard from me. I've been, not feeling too good, so I had to get myself together and shit. But TikTok, this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It seems like every few months I have to make a video like this because I always catch these strays, these random ass white people and these random ass immigrants who think I'm fucking with y'all. I'm not your sis, I'm not your cousin, I'm not nothing to you motherfuckers. And I'm absolutely the fuck not talking to y'all. Anytime I'm making a post on this motherfucking platform.
Nah, they nosy, they want to be educated.
The thing is, when I'm talking to my people, y'all always got something to fucking say. But when I post the videos about y'all information, where y'all come from, who y'all are, what the fuck y'all are,
they get quiet. They run. Where they at?
Genetically modified with and all this extra shit. I don't hear a peep out you motherfuckers. I don't never see y'all in those comments. Y'all ain't never got shit to say.
Because you teaching them.
Putting out facts about y'all and y'all race. And of course with you immigrants too. But this is the thing. Why do y'all think that I'm talking to y'all when I'm talking to my people, but y'all never have nothing to say in those posts when I'm actually talking to you?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Why she look like Serena Williams before Serena Williams touched herself?
When I'm actually addressing y'all personally, nobody has shit to say. But when I'm talking about shit that has something to do with my people, our history, our heritage, here y'all come out the woodworks with every fucking thing to say out y'all motherfucking mouth. Why aren't y'all talking about your own business? Why y'all so into our business but won't talk about where the fuck
because they scared.
About the fact that y'all are trying to replace and trying to place us. Y'all are nothing but genetically modified ass people that are mad that we are the original motherfuckers of this land. And can't seem to get that through your thick ass skull. So what y'all do, y'all go and y'all say stupid shit up under people fucking videos. But then when we are posting videos that has to pertain to you, that is for you, that is meant for you to hear, I don't hear a peep out you motherfuckers.
They scared.
Listen, let me say this here once again. This motherfucking page is not for nobody but my copper color indigenous motherfucking people. If that's not you, stay the fuck off my page.
Also, the TikTok girls want to know what's your ethnicity.
A southern lady from New Orleans.
Are you like mixed with anything?
Oh, just like a pot of gumbo. Got a little bit of everything.
What's your hair regimen?
Wash it.
Mm-hmm.
Condition it.
Mm-hmm.
Braid it.
Okay.
And let it dry. Sometimes I don't even comb it for a couple of days. You know that's the truth, you know?
I know.
You know, I'm not a hair person. I usually put it in a ponytail or when and I wear it braided a lot. But I try not to put any chemicals or any heat or anything like this on my hair.
Okay.
You know.
And what hair products do you use?
Shimmering Lights.
Shimmering Lights, yeah.
The shampoo and the conditioner. And I also use Forbidden Fruits that my granddaughter have made for me. It's so hot here in Texas. And it's summertime. And to wear it down is very hot. So I usually just put it in a ponytail, or I put these 2 braids like this. After I wash my hair, this is what I do. And then I pin it like this here. And I let it dry. It takes about 2 days to dry, you know. But that's all I do. I guess it must be in the genes. I am just so surprised that Jasmine took that video of me and she said she was going to put it on TikTok. I said, okay, you can put it on TikTok if you want to, you know. And then she started saying all of the views that I had. And I said, oh my God, are you serious? And she said, yeah. And I said, oh God, I didn't think so. Thank you so much. You got me loving my gray hair even more.
Shout out to the elder. Shout out to the elder.
Georgia, red clay is our birthright.
Right.
And it's our obligation to cultivate and protect it. This land we standing on belong to us.
Yes, sir.
This land we standing on belong to us.
I don't understand how y'all can come into my comment section with so much certainty, asserting that I'm wrong about the majority of Black Americans in this country having indigenous ancestry. At this point, I think most Black Americans know they have indigenous ancestry. A lot of them just don't know how. I would say 1 out of every 2, maybe 3 Black people in America, if you ask them, hey, has your grandma, has your auntie ever mentioned you having Indian in your family?
They're going to say yes.
Yes. Because our oppressors
never fails.
Keep this out of the mainstream consciousness, we haven't been told about it. And you may ask yourself, well, why? And the answer is very simple. If the colonizer can convince the indigenous people of a land that they're from a different continent, those indigenous people will never ask for that land back.
Right.
If you know, you know. One thing you guys never seem to want to acknowledge is that a lot of us foundational Black Americans have living ancestors who are passing this information down to us. So I'm just trying to figure out how you're saying with so much certainty that Black Americans in this country don't have indigenous ancestors. Are you trusting the textbooks? Are you trusting mainstream narratives? Because if you are,
in Hollywood,
mistake.
They are natives. Plus, in addition to that, we had Blacks in this country as Folsom people way before American Indians ever came to this country, were ever formed, and came out of Asia across the Bering Straits. And so,
see, damn, Elder's right, but he using the wrong terminology in the wrong spot. Oh man, he using the wrong terminology in the wrong spot, and see that could be confusing because it was the other way around. We are the American Indians. The natives came by the Bering Strait.
And so the Indians trying to get ahead of Blacks by saying, we are natives. You're not in the natives either. You probably came across the Bering Straits after Blacks.
Oh, he said it right there. Okay, he said it right there.
Came to the earth and followed Black folk. The only natives you got on the earth are Black people.
Okay.
Man, quit playing with us.
Okay.
It's like we done forgot what copper was. Come on, man. I see pale faces on here putting pennies to their face with a little filter talking about, oh, I'm copper, and they try and prove they indigenous and tell us where we come from. Why would y'all tell us where we come from? If we're from there, then take us back. Tell them to take us back. Why ain't they grabbed none of my people yet and took us to where y'all say we came from?
Because they know better.
Africans that came on boats and we were shitting, pissing on each other, and we're descendants of slaves and people that was chained up and nothing else. Prove it.
Right.
Why when we leave the country, everybody look at us and want to take pictures and then they seem mesmerized because what do they know about us that we don't? Motherfucker, so many ethnicities in America made us feel so down about ourselves, folks, and y'all time is coming. Our copper gonna keep shining. Our bronze is gonna keep shining. Our gold and our melanin is gonna keep shining. As you can see. Everybody going around screaming, oh, I'm blackity black black. I'm proud to be black, 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 black. Nah, you're copper, you're bronze, you're golden, deeply melanated. You ever wonder down? Why every single nationality in America try to make me feel down about my race and say we got no culture? Because they want your land.
And they want to copy your culture. You got culture.
That you don't come from America. You know how powerful you really is? Man, this shit gets so sad and emotional when you think about it, bro, because you don't really know what they did to us, bro. You don't really know what they did to us.
They indoctrinated our people.
These boats and these slaves. Show us the pictures of the boats. No AI, no color books, no none of that, bro. Show me these pictures and show me these names. Show my people this proof. We need the proof. We haven't seen no proof yet, but I do have pictures of people coming over here to take over this land. And if you want to debate about it, we could debate. I have multiple pictures of your people coming over here to take over our land, but there's no pictures of us. But it's cool. Keep showing how much y'all hate us. We love to see it. The sun's gonna keep rising, and it's gonna keep getting hotter, and it's gonna keep busting y'all ass. The animals gonna get on y'all ass. We're gonna get on y'all ass. Nature's gonna get on y'all ass. I don't know who y'all think y'all are to just learn something in school and run with it and then just think what the fuck they told y'all is true. The government lie about everything until it comes to this motherfucking out of Africa story. Let's be 100.
Right.
They ain't lying when it comes to this Africa story, but when it's everything else, they're the biggest liars and they're not to be trusted. I'm so confused, folks. Let's be 100. We know who he is. We copper. I'll show you.
You said earlier that you knew my parents. I knew them when they were killed.
Yeah, but Collier's father was chief of the Comanche Nation.
Your mother was also Comanche. Was Loa. When she was only a seed, she rode with her father in raids against the intruders. Your father was tall, straight like tree, strong, and blacker than the great buffalo.
I've been trying to tell y'all, I've been trying to show y'all. Sometimes you gotta let people tell them they self, so I'ma shut up.
Listen to what he says that we already knew were indigenous, but listen to what
Wait, is that the same guy?
All in here that are commenting.
Is that Kermit?
I screenshot. I have a secondary person there in the other room. They screenshot all your accounts. We put.
That's Kermit, right? Oh, this about to end. All right, hold on, wait. Let me hear it.
Listen to what he says.
All y'all in here that are commenting, I screenshot. I have a secondary person there in the other room. They screenshot all your accounts. We put you on a watch list because you're waking up. You're starting to realize that you're the original Americans, and we can't be having that. That's why we put a lot of y'all leaders in jail and stuff for SEXUAL, ABUSCE of MINORS. Catch them. We plant fake evidence on them. A lot of y'all leaders that first started out in the 2019s and 2020s and 21s are now sitting in federal and state penitentiary.
Now, why would he say that?
What?
My man Gaddy and Earth Speaks. Y'all tap in with the fellas if y'all like that real.
Hold on. Hold on. Kermit, you an informant? Let me find out, Kermit. You an informant. You wasn't supposed to let that. You thought somebody wasn't gonna be recording that. Ooh, Kermit done told on himself.
Sometimes you gotta let people tell them they self, so I'ma shut up.
Listen to what he says that we already knew were indigenous, but listen to what he says.
All y'all in here that are commenting, I screenshot. I have a secondary person there in the other room. They screenshot all your accounts. We put you on a watch list because you're waking up. You're starting to realize that you're the original Americans, and we can't be having that. That's why we put a lot of y'all leaders in jail and stuff for SEXUAL, ABUSCE of MINORS. Catch them. We plant fake evidence on them. A lot of y'all leaders that first started out in the 2019.
I ain't gonna lie, because they tried to do that to me. They did that to me, but I started in 2016, but they definitely did that to me. They was trying to make it seem like I was trying to claim people that I didn't even claim. A whole bunch of shit. They was coming up with a whole bunch of shit. Now, I did get a lot of them that was on YouTube removed off of YouTube. They started putting up pictures of my old house, being funny as shit, putting up old pictures of my children and stuff like that. I was like, nah, who is these niggas? No, because they never gonna show themselves. But I'm glad y'all caught this fool saying that. I'm glad y'all caught this fool. We need to sit his ass down. But you heard what I said. Yeah, I don't like shit like that. They don't even. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, because that was the end of the joint right there. Let me end it right there. This is very good. You know, I'm proud of all of y'all. I'm very proud of all of y'all. I'm so thankful that this has been going on and it's still ongoing. It's still happening. Our people still waking up. Look at him. Kermit was mad. He admitted that our people was waking up. Yeah, we gonna have to talk behind the scenes about some shit. This my first time seeing this guy. And he admitting that he a goddamn informant. Admitting it. Yeah, it's time. It's time. I ain't gonna say too much about that, but it's time. Like, especially him. Especially him. But a shout out to all of y'all that came through to watch the live stream. I appreciate that. Shout out to those of you that sent in super chats as well. And hey David, I didn't forget about you, brother. I'm just getting back to streaming. Matter of fact, I'll probably do it tomorrow. I don't know if David's still around. Shout out to Sour D's. What up, Sour D's? Shout out B-More. What up, B-More? Baltimore, stand up, Baltimore. I see you. Yeah, shout out to DC. That's my home. Y'all know what time it is. Shout out to DC for sure. We gonna pop back up in here tomorrow. I'm probably gonna be going a little earlier. And then, yeah, I'm gonna open up the panel because I got some things I want to show y'all tomorrow. So I'm gonna set it up for tomorrow. Hopefully y'all can come out tomorrow. We're gonna be on the same topic. You know, y'all know what we talking about. And there's a few things I do got to talk about dealing with Mike Jack and some other things, but we gonna mix that in between. But yeah, we back though, y'all. You know, Big Mama Chief doing very well. Those of y'all that know what's going on, my mama doing very well. Everything good. And again, I apologize. It took that long, but y'all know I had to do what I had to do, you know? Da Vinci, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Yeah, so tomorrow a little earlier, like we probably gonna be like 6, 7, 8, something like that. A little earlier. And we gonna go live and I'm gonna be opening up the panel for sure. We gonna be on this topic. So any genealogy questions, yeah, definitely come up. Let's holler. Let's do this. Y'all take care. I love y'all. Wado.
OCO, free thinkers.
I make you think, yeah. I make you think, I make you think, yeah. I make you think.